and we're here, people. Today is going to be a good day. A lot of stuff's been going on. A lot of people are confused. There's a lot of people playing like they're confused. There's a lot of issues that are being brought up again repeatedly as if we don't know what's going on. And we're today going to cover a whole lot of stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's just goofy that really doesn't need to be going on, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be observed, needs to be talked about. But as a whole, man, we're going to get this thing started. I want to say salute to Metroplex coming all the way out of Canada to be with us today. Also, my homie, the realest one out there, still working, still grinding out there on them roads, burning up them streets, man. Don't let those tires fall apart. But I want to also say thanks to the chat, everybody that's been supporting this channel, man, day in and day out. We don't play over here, man. It's time to get y'all 100%, man.
The following
Let's
is
do this,
intended
y'all.
only
Let's
for
go.
mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I hope everybody's got their chair, got some popcorn, turn their music down. I got me a glass of water, some nice filtered Texas water, man. I wish I had some tea, but grab me some water. What's up, Metroplex, man? How's Canada, bro?
Right now it's cold. It's snowing a bit, and it's still cold. But other than that, I'm just chilling, still gaming, still slapping those donkeys on Twitter, watching their YouTube channels crumbling, getting destroyed. Some of them getting exposed, they getting banned, but I'm still here
Yeah, man, you
laughing.
know how it is, man. That's everyday battle, man. A lot of emotions. We're gonna talk about that too. I want to say, man, shouts to Craig Simmons Gaming TV, man. That's my brother, man. Haven't been here. I haven't seen him in a while, man. But that's my brother right there, man. My man says it's been a while, but I'm here. Let's go, fam. I'm doing this show just for you, man. Just for you. I want y'all to like, share, support this one because I'm not playing with this one, man. I'm not playing with this one. This one, I credit to everybody that's been here, that's been saying this stuff with me. This show is going to be for y'all. Dolomite, always, man. That's my brother right there. Always strong supporter, man. Everybody in the chat back community. See, they changed the name of the chit chat community, man. They changed it. They said, legal, we got to be called something else, man. We up in here. So it's the chat pack, man. We the chat pack. And I love them for that, man. They're forever got my respect. Mr. Kima, this one's for you, baby. This one's for you. I'm not playing anymore. I'm not going to let nobody come up in here, man, and start talking like we were talking. No, don't start talking now because it's safe to talk. Don't start getting encouraged now and coming out acting like what y'all talking about now wasn't said before. I'm not going to let that happen, man. Nah, I'm not going to let that happen. See, Di-RRec gaming isn't about, it's not about the number game. It ain't about the bandwagon game. This ain't a coattail channel. Never will, never have. This is ground up, man. This is all ground up. We do this thing our way. We don't care what people think. We hear from the streets, man. We hear from the pavement. We hear from the dirt roads. So no matter what flag you represent, no matter what continent you're from, what state you're in, or what street corner you stay on, you could have been anywhere in the world, man, but you decided to come out here and get on this stage with us. And for that, we're eternally grateful. And I'm not going to waste any more of y'all's time. We came here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help us gaming. So I see we got some things to talk about today. And I would say it's funny, but it's really not funny. It's just surprising to me that y'all wanted to wait all this time until all the wheels fell off. like I said was going to happen. Every rim to every spoke to whatever kind of wheel that you try to ride on until they all fell apart and they melted away. Now you guys are starting to see. Now you guys are starting to worry. But there really wasn't nothing to really worry about because you guys wasn't paying attention. Listen, I get it. Let's be real today. I get it. The new legal is anti-PlayStation. He's a bad guy. He's a fanboy. He's a console warrior. You know what? That might be true to some regards. But if you really don't know me, that's all you're going to think anyway, because that's what you see on social media. And I know social media to some of y'all, it seems like it's your whole entire existence in life, but it isn't for mine. So when I come up on social media, I just want to have some fun and make fun of some things that are not human beings, like consoles and video games. Those are not human beings. Life isn't based upon video games and consoles. So I make fun of certain things and I have a good laughing time throughout my day. Don't get mad because you can't be that way, but it's never personal as to why at the end of every show that we have on here, I always end first saying, always keep it gaming. Why do you think I say that? Because the legal has a perspective on this stuff. I don't get lost in translation because I've been here and done that. Unlike some of these other dudes out here that are in the Pee Wee League, that they're only good at holding a mic. They're good at content creating. But like I said, content creating and gaming are two different things. You having a YouTube channel and playing on your console is two different things. And for that, I don't get caught up into all of that. As a matter of fact, I don't do a lot of listening because a lot of these channels are not telling me anything. I'm a student of the game. For the most part, I've been gaming out here longer than the most people out here that have microphones. I've actually ran on a video game before. I've been in the top ranks in video games. I won gaming tournaments. For most of these counterparts out here, they can't tell you stuff like that. Before legal was on social media, this is how legal was. This is who he is. He's not a character made up. I am what I am. I'm always been about gaming. Anybody that knows me knows that gaming is associated to my bloodline. You can blame it on my own dad. Before me, he was here. He was a gamer. So my lineage, my history of my entire existence is attached to gaming some way, shape, form, or fashion. But enough of all of that, right? Because I know y'all are not paying attention to it unless legal is out here attacking a donkey. But now, like I said, they will all fail you. Made that bold prediction 4 years ago. And I also said we here, we ain't going nowhere. Made that bold prediction years ago. And we're still here. So now everybody has come home to roost. Oh, so now everybody sees that legal wasn't lying after all. So I told y'all that soon, very soon, and it's hard because we've been saying the word soon for a long time. But the pieces of the puzzle had to be put together. Microsoft had to make some changes. Because let's be honest, Microsoft is the one that sells the least consoles, right? Everybody likes that. Everybody wants to be attached to the console sales because why? Let's be for real. Because when you bring up the console sales, there's only two that benefit from that. It's not Xbox. I'm just being truthful here. I've already surrendered my white flag when it came to that years ago because I already saw that console sales was not going to be the future talk pretty soon. People are going to have to understand, like my man really said, you guys are going to have to wonder why you are an Xbox fan soon. And I love that because that has come to light. I'm not going to let y'all escape that. That was him saying that, not these other clowns that you hear today. They wouldn't dare speak to you like this. Just like they wouldn't dare tell you in the beginning that the PlayStation 5 Pro or the PlayStation 5 were never real RDNA 2 consoles. It was us telling y'all that. Y'all wanted to kick back like goats. Oh, no. Well, okay. And then 3 years later, they had to admit to y'all that it's not a real RDNA 2.0 console. It's more like an RDNA 1.3. Never lied to you guys. We don't take pride in that. We're veterans. We're veterans. We're not root gamers. We're veterans. There's some like Others Inc. and Jago6. Those are the root gamers. They've been here from the beginning. My big brother Old School on Twitter X. These guys been here from the beginning. I wasn't here from the beginning. But I got my 4 stars in this stuff. We got our stripes. Me, Metroplex, the realest one. We've been around here in these streets for a pretty long time. And when you've been around for a long time, you've gone through some wars. You got your scars. And you kind of understand where gaming came from. You respect the culture. And I'm going to give y'all a little something. This stuff that you're seeing today is all fabricated. It's a bunch of nonsense, really. It's just to feed the media, right? And if console wars were not fueling all of this, then we would have interviews with Phil Spencer. Look at this, like Nene 29 says. Look, we would know that if console wars wasn't such a big deal, right? And it's not something that actually influenced anything, then when we interview Phil Spencer, the PlayStation 5 would never have to come out of his mouth. Because you know that when you talk about Nintendo, when Nintendo has Di-RRec, you don't ever hear the word Xbox on that show. PlayStation State of Play comes out, you never hear Xbox out of that show. But for some reason, right, people, when we got to address Xbox, for some reason, we have to address the other ones. Now, why is that? Because we've learned that the one that is silent, the one that is the least daring in consoles, is the weakest link. So let's talk about it, right? Are we really going to act like we don't know why we're right here where we're at this moment in time? Or are we going to be for real about it? See, I'm not talking to you guys that are now all of a sudden getting your chest all out because you see like my man Realist was saying, y'all see the writing on the wall. Legal, just let it go. Because the writing is already on the wall. See, the reason why I'm bringing up the realist is because y'all don't understand. I used to make them phone calls. And this guy used to tell me about Phil Spencer when I wasn't in agreement with Phil Spencer. When Phil Spencer used to make me upset. And we would be in the phone calls, man, and we would be talking, and realists would be telling us, man, but y'all don't understand. Phil's got to do this. He's got to do that, and he's got to do this. And so as I saw that, the realist wasn't the most popular voice, right? Because I've seen what this man has been through in the Xbox community because he shoots straight. I've seen how the Xbox community has taken to him in a negative way at points and times because of some things he has said, because the Xbox community is so sensitive. And that's a drawback as to why nobody really takes the Xbox community that serious when they come up online. Because they see that y'all are so sensitive. Y'all are easy to be rocked. And I get it. I really do. But they prey upon y'all. You see it in the media. With everything going wrong with PlayStation right now, the focus is still Xbox. Because we're going to get down to it. But Realist asked y'all a question a long time ago. Do y'all know why you bought an Xbox? Do you understand why you have one? Because that's a question for you to answer. Look at that question that he asked y'all 2.5, 3 years ago, and let's speed it up to right now. And everything that you're seeing happening to Xbox right now, and you seeing what Xbox is doing right now, if you're confused, you really wasn't never an Xbox fan. You cannot see Xbox right now and be confused if you're a real Xbox fan. Because this is how I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you the mindsets of donkeys and why I created that term donkey. I will never let anybody take that away. Donkey, the term donkey belongs to me. Yeah, I'm speaking a little bold here because I got a little authority. So I'm going to speak with a little authority today. This is for all the real Xbox fans and for those who want to come in and really, really want to hear some truth. Because I'm not playing. I'm not playing with Nintendo fans. I'm not going to play with PlayStation fans. And I'm not going to play with Xbox fans. I'm going to shoot straight across the board. Before you can talk about now, you got to know your history. You got to understand mindsets. There was a time when Nintendo fans thought they could never be beaten. Okay? If you was listening to Danny's interview and Paris' interview with Phil Spencer, and despite what you may think about those two guys, right? You can have your personal opinion on those two guys. But Danny's built from the ground up. Paris joined that channel with Danny years on down the line. But those guys always knew each other. They built a camaraderie with people who work within Xbox. I've had the pleasure to have had Paris on this channel, to talk to Paris in private. I've never spoke to Danny. There's other people within that has worked for Xbox that I've had the privilege to speak to. You learn from everybody. Do you agree with what everybody does? Of course not. But you build a respect. You get a sense of respect. You get a sense of why they think the way they do, or why the reason they do the things that they do. But that interview that they did with Phil Spencer, you can't deny that it was needed. Now, to an Xbox fan, Phil Spencer said nothing new. Absolutely nothing new. I don't know why we feel like we got to keep making Phil Spencer, or we're not really making him, but I don't understand why Phil even feels like he has to keep repeating himself. And I get it. Because we asked this, right? We asked Microsoft to start being more vocal when everything gets dumb outside. When everything gets dumb outside, please, Phil or somebody come out and explain. And then they come out and they say the same thing that they told you 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. And then you get regurgitated bird feed food and you're back to being fine again. Because for some reason, you let those on the outside of Xbox rattle you because they're insecure. But let me tell y'all something. I lived during a war, right? Where when we were kids, we played on everything. You didn't have everything, but you played on everything. Whether it was an arcade machine or one of your friends' consoles that didn't have what you had. And when I was growing up, I preferred the Sega over Nintendo for these very reasons. And this is where I'm going to get you to look at some things. Because remember when I told y'all, and I made this vocal and I put it on Twitter X, that the real console war was never about console sales. Console wars are about capabilities. I've said this, capabilities. And to hear Phil Spencer say that if we build the best, because you remember, realist, you remember you was there on that show when I made that show about Phil Spencer coming out to apologize over Redfall. And I was in disagreement with that. I said, I don't know why he had to come out and do this. This was not good. He didn't have to apologize to nobody. Realist remembers this. And I made a phone. I said, we're going to do a show about this. And I talked against it. Because I understood. I get it. But this man owes nobody nothing. You're going to have ups and you're going to have downs in the video game land. That's just the way it is. We understand these things. A lot of times things don't go our way. Okay. So I picked Sega Genesis growing up. I didn't care that 20 of my friends had Nintendos or everybody in my neighborhood had Nintendos. Because when I went to the arcade, I played Alter Beast. I played Shinobi. I played Golden Axe. I played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I played Double Dragon, right? And let's be clear, all these types of games were everywhere. That was never the issue. But it was what was doing the most with the games that went everywhere. So let's talk about it, right? Yes, Nintendo had Double Dragon, but it didn't have co-op. So the word double brought no value to the game. You couldn't co-op it. So you had to go player one, player two aspect. So I had to sit over at your house, watch you play till you died, and you passed me the controller. That was the experience of Double Dragon, but that wasn't the true experience of Double Dragon. Everybody knew when you played it in the arcade, you played it together. So when Sega Genesis came out with Double Dragon, and you actually had co-op, I had something to talk about. I could bring my friend over to my house, and me and my friend can actually play the game together. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was on Nintendo, but it was in a sense of a single-player game. Now, that didn't give you what the arcade gave you. That wasn't the true essence of a turtle game. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games was always about the co-op experience. Sega Genesis gave me the best feeling for that. May not have been 4-player, but it gave me 2. Still had a co-op experience. Okay, so Alter Beast was one of my favorite games to play. I just didn't have all the money in the world. Asked my parents, can I play it? Because I died so much. But to know that I could play that game on Sega Genesis blew me away. And I'll never forget when it came in a bundle. When Shinobi hit, I couldn't believe it. I told y'all the story about my mother getting that game for me. And I was out of bounds. I was out of pocket when I asked for that game because it was before. It was not birthday time and it wasn't Christmas time. Back in my days, you asked for a video game and it wasn't birthday time or Christmas time, you just got your ass whooped for no reason. So I took a chance on my life. And my mother did make some sacrifices and got me that game. And to this day, I still have that game in its case and everything because it meant that much to me. Video gaming has never been a joke when you're not on the popular side. Sega was forced to realize its fan base. Sega understood its fan base. It began to call us rebels. We relished the fact that we were rebels. Sega started making commercials about us being the rebellion gamers. And we felt like Sega understood us and understood why we were part of that family. To the point that Sega ended up beating Nintendo in the market share when nobody ever thought Nintendo could be beat. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it. Borrowing games was a thing of life. Exactly, Dolan Knight. We've witnessed it. We lived it. I understand it. But why are we here today, Chat Pack and the panel? Where did we go from that to today where people that are younger than me can talk to me as if I'm delusional and I don't understand what's going on when I say, listen, the console war's been over with. That's been over with. It's you guys that need some kind of validation as to why you own something. I don't. That's below my feeble mindset scale. I don't get paid enough to think that low. I understand that this is just gaming, and gaming is a showcase. Yeah, I get on social media to have fun. Yeah, we pick, we jab, but it's never personal. I understand that. I can speak for myself, but I can't speak for others. Legal understands that when Sony came in the gaming space, that Sony had to do some twists and turns. Sony is the one who created, hey, if you want to play these games, you're going to have to buy a PlayStation. Sony is the father of handcuffing. Now, why did Sony handcuff? There's reasons. It's not like, oh, because Sony started that, they're just this evil empire. Hey, Nintendo did the same stuff. Okay? But games were everywhere. That's the only difference. But with Sony, Sony was willing to pay to not have these games everywhere. So it secluded games on a platform. Sony at the time was one of the most influential companies in the world. Very versatile. So they had massive influence. And when you have massive influence, you have a massive perception. So if Sony has a big influence, its followers for once is not going to doubt their skills. Sony has money in the music industry, insurance industry, electronic industry, and they were all over the world. But massive success, massive success. Nobody can mess with Sony in those areas. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they use their influence to gravitate into gaming. We all know the real story as to why Sony got into the gaming industry. It was never about video games. It was about the music. Nintendo was the one that pissed Sony off, and Sony wanted to rebel against Nintendo. Sony wanted to destroy Nintendo. When we were part of an era that we just poked, I never wanted Nintendo to die, even though I was a Sega fan. I love Mario. I played Mario. I had a Nintendo. I didn't want Mario to die. I never got that angry at anything, right? But Nintendo angered Sony. Sony really wanted to put it to Nintendo. So they made their games exclusive. I mean, strictly exclusive, to the point where people actually thought certain video games belonged to Sony. And this stuff went on for years, right? IGN is birth. They're Sony fans. Their birth, their platform, their origins is about the PlayStation. Sony has influence in the gaming media, people. They got influence in the gaming media. They bought up the gaming media. This is why when you hear stuff about Sony with the PlayStation and things are not going too well for them, you don't see the articles. Okay? That's a win-win for PlayStation fans. But here's the problem with that. Just because you want to pretend that it's not there doesn't mean it's not there. I'm going to say it again. Just because you pretend it's not there doesn't mean it's not there. So you saw what the PlayStation 3 did to Sony, and we saw what the 360 did for Xbox. We saw what the Xbox One did to Xbox, and we saw what the PlayStation 4 did to PlayStation. Now we're here in the Xbox Series era, and we're here in the PlayStation 5 era. And I made a bold prediction. There's two great things that I said that came to light. That Sony was going to prostitute Spider-Man. They're going to wear him down to the ground. And Spider-Man will become their most popular mascot. He will overthrow any first-party mascot Sony has. Spider-Man will be that dude. And the second Spider-Man will be Miles Morales. Listen, I'm not an insider. Nobody told me these things. You just got to pay attention. Because I saw the movement, right? At that time, it was cool to be a black guy. Black Panther was out. Everybody wanted to be a black guy. And I said, damn, since everybody want to be black all of a sudden, The next Spider-Man watching be Miles Morales. Boom. It wasn't hard to figure that one out. But let me tell y'all a little secret. I rolled the dice on Spider-Man 2. I kept myself open. I did. I said, let me see something here. Let me add up something here. It's called capabilities. PlayStation, you're about to almost have me looking like an idiot out here. I might just buy your console if you do something that has never been done before. Realist knows what I'm talking about. Spartan 117 knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if Metroplex knows because he's been away on Di-RRec Gaming for a while, getting his new house and stuff set up in Canada. But I don't want to make a mistake by saying Metroplex is not Di-RRec Gaming because he is. We got two Canadians on this channel.
They don't want to play with us.
Hey,
They knew.
and legal. I told you that you wasn't gonna be buying no PlayStation 2 when you said that.
And you told me, you said, legal, don't hold your breath. You ain't finna buy no place. This is what I told you, realist. If it happens, you buy me one. You said, bet. You was confident. You said, bet. I'll ship it to your house.
I am so grateful.
There was a moment, people, that, can you believe it, that legal would have bought a PlayStation 5 for this one experience of a lifetime. And here it is. If I could share my experience with my son playing Spider-Man, me and him on one screen, I'm Spider-Man, he's Miles Morales, and we're getting down. Because I understood that no matter what, this is just gaming. And gaming is about the experience. And if I had something that I could talk about, then it's worth doing. Put all the BS aside, right? Put all my Xbox bandana around my neck aside and just do something for the memory of gaming. That's what it's all about. I don't lose perception on that. But I was warned by realists, don't hold your breath, legal. And then Spider-Man 2 comes out. And I see the trailer and I said, aha, I got you, realist. It's about to happen. Just wait, at the end, it's gonna say co-op. They're gonna let us know it's co-op. And to my surprise, people, Sony did the least thing that I thought they were gonna do. And that was make that damn game a single player experience when everything lined up so perfectly. They had everything sitting there, it was just a co-op game. And they dropped the ball. And it ain't because they just dropped the ball. You have to understand something, people. In the words of Larry Herb, one of the greatest hype men in gaming history, said, if co-op was easy, everybody would be doing it. Those were his exact words. Now, how do I know these? Because I'm a student of the game. I listen. Co-op isn't easy, people. Back compatibility isn't easy. He said that too. These things are not easy to do. And when you see a game like that that's meant for co-op, I mean, it was just basically meant for co-op, and it failed to deliver, that was it. I told realists, well, back to Xbox for me for life. Because PlayStation, if you were going to ever get me, you had your chance and you missed it. You dropped the ball. So now I don't even think about no game on PlayStation anymore because PlayStation is what PlayStation is. I don't worry about what PlayStation is going to do because PlayStation games have never really attracted me like that. PlayStation games for me don't give me a sense of community. They don't give me a sense of fun where I'm indulging with other gamers. So I'm not here to play video games for a single player experience, right? I'm not there for that. If that's all I wanted to do, then I probably would just stuck with the arcades or like Rilla said, just get you a PC because then it makes sense. Appreciate you, lad. I appreciate you. I would have just did that and would have just left it alone. Just got a PC, left it alone. But I'm in a place where we have groups, where we have a chat room, and we got clubs. And I don't want to give that up. I got friends there. I got people who we actually dedicate our gaming to. It's fun to be on Xbox. And we got a question out here, really? Why would anybody buy an Xbox? That question doesn't resonate to an Xbox fan. That's a question for somebody who don't know Xbox. Because what Phil told Paris was absolutely nothing new. I told you guys before this interview was even thought of that we're going to go back to capabilities. And you better hope that not Nintendo, but Xbox never becomes what Xbox is supposed to really be in the first place. And that's a PC console. Because if that happens and they build on these awesome features that they have, these incredible features that they have, it's okay, Metropolitan, come back. His laptop froze, people. And gamers, they already scored on Game Pass, right? We saw it in the documents that Game Pass is just tearing up PlayStation up. But Sony's not going to tell y'all that. There's no answer for it. Y'all didn't want to listen to Jim Ryan. Okay, so I don't know who y'all want to listen to. This is coming right out of the stable. He's telling you that we don't have anything to compete with Game Pass. We can't afford it. They can't even afford to put a first-party game on PlayStation Plus on the top tier. They can't. It takes money to do stuff like that. You're not going to defeat. When it comes to the bank, when it comes to the banking department, Sony can't defeat Microsoft there. Microsoft is a big publisher. There's nothing wrong with that, people. You have to understand, they bought Activision for $79 billion. Billion. Now, I was talking to Realist the other day, and Realist made perfect sense when he said legal. The most they were going to get out of Sony was the Destiny acquisition. That acquisition is big talk to Sony. That $3-point-something billion, that's big to Sony. For anybody thinking that Sony was going to spend money like Microsoft, they done lost their minds. Sony don't have the capacity to spend money like that. That's okay, Femo. Go ahead and reboot it. I hear you. Go ahead and reboot it, man. Okay, don't worry. It's stuff like that happens. But they bought Destiny, and y'all saw what happened to Destiny. It's gone. It's tore up. It's in shambles. Bungie, they tried, man. I mean, these guys came in, was supposed to help out with some multiplayer aspects for PlayStation, because let's talk about it. PlayStation still, to this day, is the only gaming platform that suffers with multiplayer games, that suffers with live service games. And I told y'all then, he who passed has either the live service games or multiplayer games. You shall pass. You are not going to pass with these exclusive games. Listen, the only people that are having a hard time with the word exclusives are PlayStation fans. You want to know why Nintendo doesn't have to talk about exclusive games? Because they're the fathers of it. They're the most successful. They're our longevity. Nintendo is our history. Nobody ever gets mad at Nintendo, right? Nobody ever talks down about Nintendo because Nintendo is just what it is. Nintendo. Nobody really cares. They make games so simple, it's nothing. Their games don't cost a lot. There's no pressure. Nintendo's not moving the technological advances in gaming. No, that's not where they're at. But Nintendo has a massive worldwide cult, right? A massive fan base that they don't have to struggle when it comes to hardware sales. They just don't. They're okay. So Nintendo lets you know every day that console sales do exist. Console sales can be a source of your success. Yes, nobody's doubting that. Nobody ever said it wasn't. But as an Xbox fan, I have to understand that Xbox doesn't move like Nintendo. Nintendo is the king of the Asian market. We already know that American products like Xbox in the Asian market gets treated like third-class citizens. We know. We get it. It's not their culture. It's different. It's not something that they're going to bet their bottom dollar on, or not just dollar, but their money, their yen. So Microsoft builds where it can be most successful at, and that's in the Western market. And because of the success of PlayStation and Sony as a whole, Sony is known more worldwide markets than Microsoft was known for their gaming division. Now, when it comes to Windows, no. But there was a time when we're not talking about gaming, we're talking about Windows. Windows was killing it. Windows is top notch. But if you notice today, Xbox makes more than Windows. Something has changed. And this isn't new news, right? This isn't new news. So something has changed in the Microsoft structure of business. Gaming is becoming more and more prevalent. Gaming is becoming more and more serious. But gaming isn't something that Microsoft holds on for dear life. PlayStation holds on to gaming for dear life. If Xbox died tomorrow, Microsoft continues to go on. Microsoft can use their software and keep my Xbox existing on other platforms. Now, to a PlayStation zealot, Xbox being on other platforms is a sign of weakness. But like I was trying to make people see that there's a specific ant species that enslaves other ants. And they survive because of the numbers of the other ants that can produce chemical warfare unlike they can. They grow up thinking they're part of the same community in which they're two different ants. But the ants that have been enslaved, they're more lethal. They're more what should I say, more important. And with that philosophy, we over here on the Xbox side of things understood that we're not enough because things in the industry are not healthy, right? They're plateauing. You see on the PlayStation side, less and less more people are buying video games. That's the crisis of PlayStation. They're just not buying video games. The industry developers are suffering, massive layoffs. The main thing is video games are becoming more and more expensive to make. So here we are. When Xbox signed off for crossplay, Sony didn't want to sign off for crossplay. You have to read and understand why. Microsoft had already adopted PC. That wasn't nothing unusual. Some weirdo Xbox fans didn't understand that back then. They exposed their stupidity way long ago. PC and Xbox were one, always. They always have been. Windows, PC, and Xbox have always been one. Microsoft just isn't implemented it to make it such a reality. But nobody that's a real Xbox fan ever thought that those were two separate things. Xbox gets made fun of, but Xbox is the only one that's big enough to step forth and get ridiculed. Knowing this, and we've been out here this long, we know what's going to happen, people. PlayStation and Nintendo is going to follow suit. Nintendo will follow suit. That'll be the last to do it. But something beautiful happened with Nintendo when they accepted the 10-year contract for Call of Duty. We all know that Nintendo used to lack big third-party support. We know these things. What do you want Xbox to do? It doesn't make sense. Xbox buys one of the biggest libraries in gaming history, and you think they're supposed to keep that on their platform only. That makes no sense at all. That's not a good business model. If you can expose, right, that the other side actually wants to buy your games, you make your games available to be bought. What that does is, in return, that shows everybody that, hey, our competitors' own fan base are willing to pay us top dollar for our video games, while we give a big, huge break on our fans that's been here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Netflix. That's Netflix. Netflix does the same exact thing. Because if I can make you think that, oh, you know, hey, listen, you guys got to put your money where your mouth is. Oh, look, support the devs. Right now, the devs are being more supported than ever. Right now. So this notion of supporting the devs, well, that's not something you ought to talk to Microsoft about, because you see now why you get to play Ninja Gaiden 4. You don't get to play Ninja Gaiden 4 because you're an Xbox fan. You get to play Ninja Gaiden 4 because you're a recipient of how Microsoft gets down for you as a gamer. That's the only reason you get to play it. But you're going to have to buy it full price. See, it costs you to not be on its platform. You're not just going to get off that simple. In order to hate us from a distance but love our games, that comes with a price. So since you couldn't prove that, right? You couldn't prove that you love PlayStation that much. See, the cover's blown off of donkeys. The cover's blown. They're not buying their own games. So when you see them on Twitter, they're talking about, oh yeah, we're going to get this game. You're not going to buy it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. Because if you don't buy your games for PlayStation, you're going to make PlayStation go bye-bye. See, pretty soon, since everybody now wants to tell you this, see, I've already told y'all this. Real's already told y'all this. While Spark 117 sat on the couch of Di-RRec Gaming and wouldn't say a word for show after show after show after show after show, we asked him, well, damn, why are you here? Spark 117 said, man, I just want to be in the presence of you guys. You guys are cooking, telling all these people the truth. I just want to be a part of it. To where now we hear Spark 117 talk because he sees the writing on the wall. See, now because all the wheels done fell off, these people have to start talking to you. Because see, they have to make sure that your feelings get pantered. They can't tell you the real at first, get you mad, and you unfollow them. See, Di-RRec Gaming isn't a scary platform. It doesn't care if you don't follow it or not. We here. The streets is here. Ain't going nowhere. I'm going to tell you this regardless. Regardless. I'm not here waiting for signs. Oh, let me wait for a sign and then I'll come out. I'm not going to watch the direct show and be yelling and crying and being goofy for you. Because I already know the direct show is going to be a knockout show. Why? We have a paper trail. We have a paper trail. When has Microsoft made a developer direct show and it was whack? Not yet. When have they made an Xbox show for this summer, this showcase show, and it be whack? Not yet. So now all eyes on Xbox. Why? Because PlayStation fans feel like they're going to get all of our games in the first place. Now here's the trick to that. Pay up. You can't just brag about having our games. Show me that you're willing to pay for them games. Then I'll salute you. Start buying those Xbox games for us. Because that's going to make you a bigger fan than me. That's going to make you, the PlayStation fan, a bigger fan than me, the Xbox fan, because you're willing to go pay full price. And we already know the answer to that. So this is checkmate time. Since we know that's not going to be the story, we already know that. Di-RRec Gaming is saying it. It's not hard to see because y'all don't buy your own games. So we know that that's not going to be the end result. So now there's choices to be made. Dolomite, Ray Chi, Nene, Kima.
The only choice is Xbox, man. It's got 40
Famo,
gigabytes.
there's choices to be made. Either there's as a matter of fact, there's 3 choices to be made, Spartan. And here they are for the PlayStation fan. Because they ain't got no games. You listen. Sony is canceling all these games, putting all these games away for PlayStation 6 because this is their last plea to protect their most dearest thing for their brand. Y'all want to hear it? You ready? Because legal knows what it is. Here's the last outcry. This is the last fortification to uphold the most protected, most sacred thing about PlayStation. It's called perception. Old school, it's called perception. PlayStation 5 has failed, and you're going to see it March this year. I already told the secret to realists and game zeros. They already know. I told them 3 years ago, check this out. Wait on this right here. If this don't hit this, then you know it's game over. We already know it's game over. We're just going to wait for it to happen. Now, when that perception falls in line, and the message goes out to the world that, for some reason, people didn't care about this console as they should have. Why? Because the numbers don't line up. When that number don't line up, and Sony already sees this. They saw it because they're in the business. They already see it. So guess what they've already started to begin to do, old school G? Abandon it. Donkeys don't even realize that PlayStation has already abandoned PlayStation 5. Or Sony. I'm sorry. Sony has already abandoned PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 is done. Because Game Heroes knew it when God of War was about to come out. Years ago, Nene, we used to cry out on Di-RRec Gaming and say this. After God of War, what do they got, legal? That would be the words of Game Heroes. I said, well, they got Spider-Man 2. I mean, to correct you, after Spider-Man 2, what they gonna have, Game Heroes? You can't nobody tell Wolverine. Nah, bro. Wolverine ain't coming out no time soon. I told y'all that. Don't expect Wolverine to come out no time soon. They can't even get Wolverine right. They're going crazy because their creativity for Wolverine has failed them. They better hope that Disney just said, hell no, put it everywhere. Because the time frame for Wolverine is already over. They done messed up on it. It's already over. Sony put their eggs in one basket early on. Because why, people? They lied out the gate. When they told their fan base, we believe in generations. Now listen to legal. The end started in the beginning with PlayStation 5 when that became the lie. Very next month later, oh, well, we don't want to abandon our PlayStation 4 players because Sony saw the numbers, Spartan 117 and Realist 1 and Chat Pack. See, it was cool to talk with that chest out before that damn console hit the scene. But when PlayStation 5 hit the scene and they saw those numbers weren't right, they had to backtrack on that, Nene, real quick. And then games like Returnal, Ratchet & Clank, Demon Souls, all they fell in line. They didn't put up the numbers. They all fell in line. Now, PlayStation 5 became a gimmick. And the very last thing that Jim Ryan did the year before he left, he floodgated the world with PlayStation 5s. He was gonna put out 30 million. Y'all remember that? He was gonna flood the world with 30 million PlayStation 5 consoles. But guess what really actually got shipped out? 21 million. 9 million fell short. 9 million. The world said, nah. That's almost 10 million consoles. Nah. Y'all want to talk about Xbox not selling. But Xbox ain't never had a rejection of 9 million consoles.
One
Never.
thing, famo, one thing. The consoles that they're claiming that PlayStation, don't forget they said that they're including PlayStation Portal as a console. So these donkeys are not separating their actual sales console versus handheld.
Femo.
They ain't selling shit.
You know what I'm gonna tell you with that? Watch this. I don't even care. What the Femo? They can add. Look, because it don't matter. Dead. The portal only sold 2 million. It's a bye-bye. PlayStation VR 2. You saw what Yoshida said about it. So it don't matter. See, it doesn't even matter anymore. I don't care if they add, I don't care what they add to the console claim. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying, Spartan? The trickery doesn't matter. Listen, fam. It failed long time ago. Features, the rest mode failed them long time ago.
Boost mode
failed them long. And then old school, on top of all of that, everybody, because I know I'm not telling y'all something y'all didn't know, because most of y'all love reading those damn articles. I'm just regurgitating your memory. Ain't nobody here lying about nothing. Y'all know because y'all read those articles before I did. And you want to know what's funny? Well, you want to know what's funny? It's how all those features, they don't even stand on them anymore. None of them. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they do. Nothing. The perception is damaged now. It doesn't even matter. When Yoshida says none of those things, none of them, it comes down to now the PlayStation fans having to buy remaster games. See, I told you. Now he reiterated for me. He made it official that Legal wasn't lying to y'all. That Mr. Hiroki Totoki wasn't lying to you. He says, listen, we're going to have to put out old IPs to get what out of them? Returns. Returns in business language means profits. You guys are going to have to love playing these old ass games. So there's decisions to be made. Okay, so here's the decision. You're either going to buy your PlayStation games. You're going to have to repent, and start buying your PlayStation games. Repent, and start buying your PlayStation games and Xbox games. So you can rub it in my face. Look, Legal, I'm playing it too. Rub it in my face. I dare you. Or 3, abandon Xbox as a whole and solely commit your life to PlayStation. That's your only options you have left. We all know y'all ain't playing those PlayStation games. So you're going to have to repent. You're going to have to do some repenting. Something is going to have to change.
PlayStation is an Xbox. They're going to get
right now, PlayStation is an Xbox. You guys are port begging for Xbox games just to have some bragging rights while we're sitting over here laughing, knowing what's happening to y'all from within. And look, now you got the YouTubers saying what we were saying 3 years ago. You can't make this up. Spar 117, you literally can't make this up.
You can't.
See, when you're Microsoft true, you don't even have to change up.
Bama,
I ain't got to change up. I ain't got to change my new message.
They cannot
my message has been consistent. That's why you guys ain't never like
it. They cannot fathom that Xbox has become PlayStation, Nintendo's, everybody's gaming publisher. They go to them, they're like, hey, man, we got no games. Can we buy some off you? Okay. And that's it. PlayStation has no games. Simple as that. They failed, closed studios. What happened to Concord? It released, under-released, closed. I've never heard of that shit. What happened to the God of War, like, gigantic mega IP? canceled. They have nothing. They're on a thin thread right now, man. The only thing that could help save them is maybe Marathon, and they've dissipated that Bungie studio. So I don't know who the hell's making that. They're only movies right now. Sony's only good for movies, selling hardware, and that's about it. They got a flying car. I think that's where they failed, investing in that flying car. They don't have nothing.
Yeah, they
Please,
got they got
Xbox.
they got they got e cars too, man. Hey, don't sleep on Sony, man.
The only thing is, Xbox is everywhere. Even on a Tesla dashboard, you could tap into Game Pass and play your cloud gaming. PlayStation doesn't have any of that. They're square one right now. Those guys have to wait about 20 until the next Sony release console. That's when they'll be ready for their first IP studios, new games and stuff. They are eating a lot of losses with their PSVRs, portals, and these little earbuds and whatnot. They put out way too much for hardware as opposed to software. They're missing content, and the number one key things for hardware sales is to have content is software sales. If you don't have software for your hardware, what the fuck are you doing? That's the question right
Uh,
there.
I don't know, Spartan. So if you feel that way, how do you feel about Xbox putting games over there then?
I love it. The more people play games, the more they buy it, and that's the whole point of them buying Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, and whatnot. We get what we get, and that's our, games, and whatever they want to release, go for it. I don't care. Whoever
But
wants
see,
to play,
no,
by all means.
what I'm asking, I don't look. I don't care,
I don't
and,
have feelings
and I'm
towards
pretty sure.
indie
I'm pretty
games.
sure most people. No, listen to what I'm asking you though.
Mm.
You say you got to have hardware. You have to have software to sell your hardware. But if your software is not only on your hardware, how you sell your hardware?
When you used to have good software, they used to have all of those games, and now it's been stripped from
We
them.
ain't talking about PlayStation. PlayStation ain't got shit, bro.
That's the
You
thing.
understand what
They're
I'm saying?
marketing all of
I'm
that.
talking. I'm
Call of
talking about
Duty.
like Xbox. Look, but PlayStation has been able to get by without even having an A tier software lineup. See, the thing is, we look at PlayStation and we say, "Oh, PlayStation got exclusives, right? All last gen. Oh, the bangers, the bangers." There was no bangers, bro. It was like 4 games from PlayStation. Everything else they bought off. You know what I mean? If you want to count Returnal, you know what I mean? Since now they own them.
What
Well,
band?
no, that was a PS5 game. But see, that was a PS5 game. But that's all I heard last generation was bangers, bangers, bangers. Right? Xbox needs
Mhm.
bangers. But PlayStation's been able to get by and sell consoles without even really providing software. It's four, right? Everybody was complaining about DRM and TV, right? But Xbox had a
Mhm.
launch lineup. PlayStation 4 was called the Indie Station. You look at what PlayStation came out with. They came with Ratchet and Clank and Demon Souls. And the perception, right, that everybody, the buzzword of 2024, says everybody's starting to finally understand the perception and reality are two different things, but perception is what people talk about. Right? Perception becomes reality for some people. They never really had this A1 lineup, but they're still able to sell consoles. Right? But the fact of the matter is they have the most popular console, no matter how trash they are as a company, no matter how trash their first party lineup is. So what Xbox is doing is they're gonna handle PlayStation better than Sony themselves and actually put software on it. But the problem that I have is how bad do they want to sell it? I don't think they want to sell it that much. I think that they're content to let Game Pass sell the consoles, right? Because legal and I've been saying this for years. The way console war is done now is totally different from the way we came up with console war. Because back when I was doing console war, we had blast processing. All right, that I had a Sega Genesis. You couldn't tell me a Super Nintendo wasn't better because the Sega Genesis had blast processing. It wasn't about, oh, we got Mario and you got Sonic. It's like, nah, bitch, we got blast processing over here. And I think I told the story before. My heart was broken when I found out the Super Nintendo was still better than the Sega Genesis. You know what I'm saying? Even though Sega Genesis had blast processing.
Yeah.
Uh, it's got to come back to the point to where it's about capabilities, right? Because otherwise, you're gonna have Xbox and PlayStation basically doing the same thing every generation, like they've been doing since 360, PS3, but coming out with comparable consoles. And if one beats them, then we come out with a pro model, right? So it's gonna come down to features and hardware capabilities, and we'll see if that happens. Because if you look at the Switch, at the end of the day, it still have Mario and Pokemon. I think they can sell them anything as long as they can play Mario and Pokemon on it. But
Yeah.
what I was asking you is, what's going to sell the Xbox in your opinion? You know what I mean? Because
Game
they
Pass.
asked Phil, and Phil says a whole lot of nothing.
Game Pass.
Yeah, but see if game, but okay, would you say the
There's
Game Pass?
two things.
Would you say the
There's two
Game
things
Pass
for
is the
me.
best deal in gaming though?
Game Pass.
Right
Right now,
two
right now, would
things
you
for
say the
me.
Game Pass? Real quick, would you say the Game Pass is the best deal in gaming?
Yes, it is. It is the king of deals in gaming right now.
Yes.
Okay, so how do they raise awareness for that? You see what I'm saying? Like somehow, some way, people need to understand that there's a service out there that gives you access to all these games. Now, I've got my theories as to why they're not pushing it as hard as they could push it. I kind of think they want to let it happen organically, but a piece of me is like, I understand why you want a console. I understand why you want a PC storefront. The only thing that's keeping PlayStation afloat is their storefront. They don't, and it's pretty much a third-party storefront. They don't sell a lot of their own stuff in comparison to just say the top third-party games. PlayStation doesn't have anything that's coming close to those, and Xbox to a certain extent, because they're pretty much buying the largest third-party companies. You know, so I'm just trying to figure out, your opinion on that part. Other than Game Pass, why aren't people? Why
Okay,
didn't that flying
I-
off the shelves? Is what I'm saying.
The only thing is for them to be able to sell consoles, not only Game Pass, but the number one key thing is to be able to deliver their games as they state, not mess around no more like that. That's what made Xbox TV, and their games delay. As long as they deliver and it's on time, people see that. Why not? Console, for what it delivers, as opposed to other consoles, by all means, feature. You got that SSD you plug in, hot swappable.
Hot swap.
You got not only hot swappable, you could transfer games while playing a game. It does quick resume, velocity architecture, all of this, true RDNA 2 graphics that's showcasing every game that's being put out. No other consoles could do that but Xbox. We did not need a mid-gen refresh. It's still outputting power, and they're still tapping into to its power. It's got everything that it needs. It's a successor. They have come a long way, and it's 10 years since 2014 now, 11 years, and they are starting to deliver. The vision was there, and now it's being delivered. It's a great time purchasing an Xbox because of that, and a great deal in gaming. 3 tiers, core, 100 games, and you get the ultimate day and date perks, this and that. It's beautiful. It's giving
You sound like you need to work in a Microsoft store, man.
man.
Do they have any stores? Do they have any stores left?
Yes, they do have quite a few stores. They actually have a huge, right in front of my building, they have a huge Microsoft building there next to the stadium. They're huge out here in Canada, Vancouver. They're going hard. We got a lot of stores. Microsoft, their storefront is Xbox, and then you got their tablets and stuff in the back and their computers. They're doing it big out here.
How popular Xbox is in Canada?
Huge. Everybody is playing
It's pretty
Xbox.
much like United States. Bro.
Huge.
Yeah. But see, look, I'm looking at the sales numbers of both consoles, but there's a factors why these consoles are not selling, and the reason why Xbox is not selling. Behind. It's a few reasons. One, because of COVID. Number two, And when COVID, gone the past 2 years, these consoles are still, $500. Don't tell me, temporary price cuts in the, holidays. And a lot of people look at VD charts, but VD charts is the estimate, right? I saw Paul Tassi made an article before, PlayStation outsold Xbox 5-1, but that's an estimate. So even PlayStation did sold 5-1, they're still behind the PS4 in sales, and the PS5 is going to be the worst selling PlayStation console by the time the PS6 comes out. I think it would.
I don't know, bro. They only need 10 million to catch a PS3.
No, I'm not. No, the PS3 sold 86, 87.
I thought it sold like 83, but it's cool. They'll catch it. They'll still catch it.
All right, the second worst. Because they're not catching the PS.
I bet you a PS6 portable or whatever crap they come out with, they'll pass the PS3. But no, hey, with Game Hills, the only reason why I asked that question is because sometimes, we say things and we don't think it through, right? Because if you say that you need software to sell your hardware, but then Microsoft's putting software or other hardware, we gotta bulletproof that. You know what I mean? It's gotta all be coherent as far as
software exclusives never really sell both Xbox and PlayStation, right? You can argue with it. The only you can argue with Nintendo. Because think about it, Breeders. So 360, right? What was the main game sold that console? It was Call of Duty. Yeah. Because back then we used to play console wars. I want to tell this man's name. A lot of people don't know this dude's name, but a lot of people in YouTube wars, they were capping for Call of Duty. And when I went to midnight launches back in days, my GameStop local, and I remember the day was like 2011. The whole line, Best Buy was like full. Then you have GameSpot was full, and most people was buying Call of Duties on Xbox. Like 2-3 person who bought this on a PS3. I bought the Wii version and the Xbox 360 version. Then you have one idiot bought the PC version, physical. But most people just buy that game on the 360 because Microsoft pushed Activision have customized skins and console skins of the 360 days and heavily marketed on the 360. So Call of Duty did help the 360 to grow. Now I'm not saying Gears and Halo didn't really did anything. It did, but most people buy an Xbox 360 because of Call of Duty. Then you look at the Xbox PS4 generation. It's the same shit. Like most people just buy a PS4 last generation because of Call of Duty. My little brother, his dad bought him a PlayStation 4 just to get the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Special Edition and play with his friends. So you got to look at this, right? Exclusives, it doesn't matter. All right, look, I'm going to say this, right? If Ninja Gaiden, South of Midnight, Fable, possibly Gears, a Valve, right? 5 games, right? Were only on Xbox, not on PC. I'm talking about only on Xbox. All right? No PC included, right? And these games come out this year. Do you think people are going to buy an Xbox? No. No. It didn't happen. If I'm breaking up or you're breaking up. But look.
Realist, you're breaking up, bro.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh. So how do we know this? Look at the launch titles on the Xbox One. Like in the launch window. Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, Rise, right? Forza Horizon 2, Motorsport 5, right? Xbox One had better launch windows and launch titles than the PS4. They had Titanfall for crying out loud. The original one.
The next launch titles for that next Xbox hardware, just watch. We got all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
studios cooking
Yeah,
right
but
now.
remember, Spartan, these games were only on Xbox. They were non PC. Microsoft put their games on PC since 2016, right? Nobody bought the Xbox. People still bought the PlayStation 4 over the Xbox when PS4 didn't have no games. There's articles in 2015 talk about they had no games, and that's genius.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember that. Like, right, realist? I can show the article.
See, you remember the year. I was trying to remember just the title of the article to quote
Yeah,
somebody else.
I remember the year. How many times did they delay Uncharted 4? 6 times. I remember that game supposed came out in 2014. They got delayed. 2015, they got delayed. And finally came out 2016. They had one game in 2016. It took Sony, almost 4 or 5 years in that generation finally got. Let's think about it, right? You know, all the games that these ponies talk about, Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon, God of War, and Spider-Man, and you consider The Last of Us, right? These games came out towards the end of their generation. So if you look at the beginning and the middle, what they were playing, multiplayer. But see, not even money hat games. Because they had some money hat games. Like, remember Crash Bandicoot was exclusive for PlayStation over a year? Remember Hellblade? This is what's called the list wars back in the days, right? Because, we got Hellblade, you didn't have no games. I remember people saying in 2017 that PlayStation ruled the first half of that, year. Like, we have Hellblade, we have Crash, Nier Automata. What happened to these games, legal? I mean, realist? They all went to Xbox, right? So there was list wars, right? So, but you talk about first party, they didn't have nothing. But see, you can't convince somebody to buy an Xbox. It's not because people don't want one. Outside the United States, bless you, outside the United States, in Europe and Asia, they don't like Xboxes. People forgot the 360, right? If you break down every region, the 360 only did well, really well in North America. Canada.
No, it did well across the pond too. It
20 million
it did better than PlayStation
in North
Japan.
America.
And one thing I gotta add here,
but PlayStation did better than the 360 in Japan, 10-1.
One thing.
Well, when you're talking about towards the end, real quick. Well, look, this will be quick.
Go for it.
Towards the end, they caught up, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why all the Japanese games were coming to PlayStation. I'm sorry, to Xbox 360, right? Nobody was buying a PlayStation 3 for $600 back then. So, and I remember being online with all the Brits back then. You know what I mean? There were a lot of Xbox fans over there in the UK. Over there in
the UK, but that was like the. Go ahead.
But look, now when you look at Sony's efforts, though, Sony put way more effort into being a global brand than Microsoft with Xbox. Like, people in Africa hate Xbox because they love their PlayStation, right? Like, I don't like talking about motherland, but it's not like that's like a huge market. But they would prefer a PlayStation. Now the Xbox is trying to get a foothold in Africa. It's like, dang, you're going through a couple of generations of PlayStation fans trying to get a foothold over there. Like when the rumors were out that they were trying to get out of the Middle East. They had never really put their best foot forward in a lot of regions outside of Europe and North America and South America. And then they were pretty much pushed to go after Japan when nobody was able to buy the PlayStation 3. That's why they had all those games. That's when you got your Blue Dragons and your
Lost Odysseys, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what made Matrix say, "Oh, those games don't sell," because they've been in there. They put money on these games, and these games didn't sell.
They didn't sell, and that's And listen, I love my Xbox brothers, right? I love legal and readers and all you guys. Listen, I'm glad that Microsoft getting these Japanese games. Like I'm playing Metaphor. So our team Metaphor should have one game of the year last year, right? It's a very
It
good
should've.
RPG. Yeah, great JRPG, right? But you have to understand this, right? JRPGs don't sell well on an Xbox.
They
It
don't sell
never
well
did.
anywhere.
It never. But we talk about metrics, right?
Dude, no,
So
bro. I'm talking about the genre as a whole. Outside of about 7 franchises, the rest of them are happy to hit 500,000. That's a
yeah,
big,
I know.
huge
I
W
know.
for them.
Yeah.
Some of these JRPGs that are skipping Xbox are selling 150,000 units. Like, no, the genre as a whole, outside of Pokemon, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, what else? There's only a few of them,
Persona.
and then that's borderline. Yakuza as well, like that's
Yeah.
borderline.
Yeah, because it was a very
But
niche
the,
game.
but that is one of the bigger franchises. You know what I mean? Because I play Ease, and then I look at like, why in the hell are they skipping Xbox? The Trail series, like they got so many of those games, and
Nobody played that,
those
man.
games
Nobody
cap
play
out
that.
around 500,000.
Yeah, nobody
But
play that,
they're
man. Don't play
skipping
that.
Xbox.
And yeah, and so did the Xbox. Well, why are you skipping Xbox? Why are you put this on Xbox? Hey, you guys don't play the damn game.
Dude, they're not playing them on PlayStations either. They play them on a Switch and PC more than anything.
Exactly.
But even with that, they're still barely hitting 500,000. What's the game that just came out on all platforms that was only on the Switch? It's a Persona game. You
Tactics?
should know, bro. No, bro. Vengeance.
Vengeance. No,
Shin Megami
Shin
Tensei 5.
Megami Vengeance. Yeah, 5, not Persona. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a spinoff.
Dude, that's
You know what I'm saying?
that's a Persona.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't do me like that. Cause I'm trying to get into JRPGs because for most of my life I said those hoes are trash. I don't want to read my video games.
Even
Right?
pandemic helped Game Pass a lot because a lot of people,
Yeah, but
everybody.
yeah.
The thing is, games. Everybody went and bought a PC in the pandemic, and you had Game Pass
No,
available
they
on
didn't.
Xbox.
That's
and
true.
PC,
Where you
man.
get that
Yeah,
from, man? Ain't nobody buying no. Everybody went out there
Yes,
and
it is.
bought a
Yeah.
Switch.
Both
But
PC.
Everybody went out there and bought 3 Switches per household.
They
So
got
they can
Xbox Game Pass.
so they can go sit them kids down somewhere. I'm telling you, those
Yo,
kids wanted Switches.
Metaphor isn't even on the
You know what we
Game
need?
Pass. That's
It'll
crazy. It's sold pretty
it'll
well though.
you said Metaphor is not on Game Pass?
No, it's not on game. A lot of people thought it
No.
was.
Yeah, they
No, it's
thought it
not.
was because they had the marketing. But it sold over 1 million. I mean, that's a win
Yeah,
for
but
a
that's
Japanese
Atlas
game.
though. Because that's Atlas.
Bro, what game do they drop that's gonna drop 5 million? That's gonna sell 5 million like that? You know what I mean?
But
I think
okay,
I think the Persona series is at like 15 million.
yeah, it's very niche. But really.
Mark
Okay,
my
listen.
words, Gear.
Not Persona, Yakuza. I don't know.
The Cruiser.
Persona got like 36 games, so I don't know what that is.
But okay. Think about JRPGs alone. I'm talking about Japanese games in period. Like nobody playing these games, dude. They tried this.
What Japanese games exist though? You want to count Elden Ring?
Yeah, but that's
You want to
Elden Ring.
count FromSoft games? Like those games are like the way that they execute the game with the extreme difficulty that makes it niche. But those are pretty much Western style RPGs, if you can call them that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah, but
when you
people
say
still play like
Japanese
JRPGs.
games, of course people play them. All I'm saying is they're
I
not
like near Automata.
very few blockbusters. Near Automata, they just announced 10 million sales for the series. You could get that game for $9.99 on PC. It's been on sale. Look, we got to look at how they get to these numbers, man. Like when you look at Hogwarts hit 20 million the year it was released. You know what I mean? Cyberpunk, 20 million the year it's released. Like it's a difference. Now you know what? Cyberpunk did go on sale like the month after it was released though. They had them for like $15 in Best Buy. But you got to look at how they get to these numbers. and not, the Japanese look. I'm rooting for it, right? I want to see an Xbox presence in Japan, but I just don't see the demand for the games the way that people who don't game on Xbox try to hold it over an Xbox gamer's head, because these games are not huge hits. But if you're not selling a lot, you should want to be everywhere you could be. Is how I feel about it.
You know why though?
That's it right there. Danger, hold on. That was it right there. I was listening to y'all talk. Realist finally said it. We live in a fake mindset to where we think every damn game that ever existed needs to be a hit. When that's not true. Because every game that ever gets made isn't what we consider a hit. I'm talking about what we consider a hit. We don't know. We're not thinking of how much this game costs. A lot of these JRPGs don't cost a whole lot of money to begin with. So these Japan developers aren't looking. They're not aiming to make it to where these games have to sell 20 million sales to damn be success. They don't have to do it that way.
Hey, I can give an example. Hey, I can give an example. Astrobot.
There you go.
That's the perfect. What's the budget of Astrobot?
Right. Okay, but okay, now that sounds real. Look, that sounds real cute. Legal, real quick. Legal. That sounds legal. Legal. Are you gonna stop real quick, bro? You've been talking for an hour. I know it's your show, but shit. Look, you just want to say that, and I just want to say this.
Go ahead.
Look, let me just say something.
When you look at Nintendo games, we can acknowledge that they don't have as big a budgets as other games.
Right.
And to say that any company doesn't want growth, doesn't want to make as much money as they possibly can, is kind of silly. That's all I want to say. It's like, yeah, they don't need to sell 20 million to be a success, but why not make as much money as you can? You know what I mean? You brought up Astrobot. We don't know the budget.
Is by putting it on as many platforms as they can, because
they don't.
Because they really don't have to. As long as Nintendo's going to keep selling away and selling, they don't have to. That's the whole point. Something will have to change with Nintendo for what you're saying is for that to start happening. But as long as Nintendo is successful in the way they're running their business, it's going to stay that way. But what I was saying to GamesReel is every genre has its own community. You just don't go blank on communities just because they don't sell as much as other communities sell. Because the ones that sell the most money don't carry the whole industry anyway. They don't make enough money to carry the whole industry. So every little bit you get all accounts to the industry. So Realist, you was right when you said those types of games need to be spread out as far as they can go. And he's right when he says it doesn't make sense when they don't do it. I totally agree. I don't know what it is, really, if it's some money being slid on the table, but that part don't make no sense, and I agree. That's all I want to say.
Hey, hold on, Riddick. I'm gonna tell you why.
The only reason why I brought up real quick, because he brought up what I brought up. The only reason why I brought up Nintendo is because we can say they didn't cost 200 million. They didn't cost 100 million to make, right? The only way they would is if it took them years to do it. But they're not huge budget games, but they're able to sell more than these games that have huge budgets. So if you could take a game like JRPGs, which are pretty much script, you don't have to bring in mocap and all this extra crap. You're not making them look realistic. Would you, as a business, want to be able to have your game perform the way a Nintendo game can? Because I guarantee you, PlayStation was hoping that 20 million people buy Astrobot instead of 1.5.
Of course.
One thing I've noticed, Nintendo, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you look at Nintendo, they'll always be king and number one. They've got Nintendo Land everywhere. It's a childhood thing, man. You cannot ever beat Nintendo.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Real quick. Gabe, I just want to say this. Nintendo is doing anything wrong. But what I'm saying is they're able to take games with obviously smaller budgets, and they're selling like games that have big budgets, or the way games that have big budgets desire to sell. And so you have these games that we say, oh, they don't need to hit 20 million. Okay, but why not try? Why not put your game everywhere? Final Fantasy just had to figure this out, but they're making big budget games. This is not an indictment on Nintendo.
Because Nintendo doesn't have to.
I'm just using them as
Nintendo doesn't have to, because Nintendo doesn't have to.
You're still doing it. You're still doing it. I just went through this whole shit saying that this is not an indictment on Nintendo. It's just an example because we know their budgets aren't huge. This was about JRPGs, and I just used Nintendo as an example because I felt like everybody on the panel could relate. Okay, I'm done.
All right, but the reason why
Nintendo does.
The Metroplex say something.
Metro.
Now, the reason why Nintendo doesn't have to is because Nintendo is like it's the Walt Disney of the gaming. Okay, I mean, they're too big to do anything. Like, for example, if Nintendo has been around for many years, and if someone says to you, okay, who's Mario? Everyone knows who Mario is, the plumber. It's like the Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you stole the words right out of my mouth.
Is everywhere. You know, like they even have their own movies. But if you say, okay, if you ask someone who is Master Chief, well, I mean, no, the people knows who Master Chief is, unless Master Chief has his own cartoon series.
Everybody knows Master
whatever.
Chief.
You know what I'm saying? So, well, no, everybody knows Master Chief.
Yeah, they have a TV show.
I mean, except the Xbox gamers.
No, they had a TV show.
Now we about to go somewhere else.
Which,
everybody knows
that. It's very recognizable, but he's not as recognizable as Pikachu. But look, Metroplex, we know why Nintendo does what they do. I was just using them for an example. All right, Nintendo does what they can because they're selling. People buy their consoles. They've always bought their consoles to play Mario. And then now you got Mario and Pokemon that can't be played anywhere else, and the two most recognizable game in our IP out there. This wasn't an indictment on Nintendo. This was me using them as an example because you look at Pokemon, that's not a huge budget game, but it's going to sell 20 million units. Now, when it comes to JRPGs, yes, they don't need to sell it to be a success. But if you're going to be in business, why not make as much money as you can? If you're going to be doing this for 30 years, why not build your fan base? The reason why Nintendo's fan base is what it is because they've been selling these games for 40 years.
I can answer that question. Why these Japanese developers don't want to do it? There's a Japanese developer called NIS, right? They make,
and that's what I'm thinking about, and that's what I'm thinking about this whole time. They just got a game. They just dropped they just dropped it, or they're about to, and they're skipping Xbox for like the 50th time.
Hey, look, look, all the games, and it's in all platforms. All the games are on the Switch, PS5, PS4. Sometimes they put it on PC. Sometimes they do, but not all the time. But there's a reason, and it goes back to this American product mentality, right? A lot of these Japanese developers don't like American products. A lot of Japanese people in Japan don't play American, don't like American product. And don't tell me some BS about an iPhone, right? Because a lot of Japanese people in Japan, they're very younger children and they love, iPhone. And, Japanese phones are trash. So it's down to because of brand loyalty. That's basically what it is. Because, and as America looking at this, right, they're not going to put this game on Xbox. It's not because they hate Xbox. It's just that they don't see their game selling well on the American box. Because the Xbox is only popular in the West. It's not popular in the East. So put a game like, I'm looking on their website right now. What was the game come on last year? I bought it too. Oh, even readers play this game. YSX, whatever that crap called, right?
Yeah, Ease, bro. I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, that's on Switch, PS5, PS4, and PC, right? They're not going to put it on Xbox. Why? Because because Xbox is not popular in Japan. That's number one. Number two, it's gonna be a waste of resources to put on it because a lot of Xbox gamers ain't playing these games. Now I know,
Guess what, games? A lot of
yeah,
PlayStation fans ain't playing it either.
and but you have facts. But that's in the but
Okay,
see
but when I say that, you tell me they don't need to sell. I'm
no,
telling
Riz, you right,
like
Riz.
no, you didn't say it. Legal said it. When I say they're
Yeah.
not selling anywhere,
That's
it's like
right.
but then you say, oh, they don't need to. No, these games need to have as
No,
much
no, no,
And
no, no.
no,
distribution
I
as
ain't
they
these
can.
saying they need
you're right.
to.
These games, these
And let's just say, look, I'm gonna be real
Let
short.
them finish.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry
go
for
ahead.
interrupt.
You talking
I'm
short.
sorry for interrupting you, bro. But like,
No, I don't care.
if
No.
you're not moving a lot of these games, and you feel like Americans won't play these games, then why not create an American fan base? Right? It's
It's
like
hard.
Dark Souls, Demon Souls, those are from Japan. Yeah, they're more Western style, but they could have restricted themselves to Japan.
Yeah, but it's very hard though. It's really hard because hold on, Legal. I'm gonna tell you why it's hard, right? Legal is a perfect example, right? He ain't playing no goddamn any of these guys games for and that's America, right? It doesn't matter how good these games are. It's just that it's hard to build a fan base because we don't really play these type of games. We don't care about these cartoony Japanese weird games like that. Some people do, but it's not a big audience, right? So majority of people play this on PS5 and PS4 are in Japan. And the Switch is a very popular console in Japan and it's a mobile device in heart. So a lot of Japanese people are going to play that on the Switch. Now, put it on Xbox is a death sentence. Why? Because I just
No,
said it. Xbox doesn't sell well in Japan.
but
So
rising tide lifts all boats, though, right? So
huh?
if for now, so that means they don't have any faith in their product. That means that they don't think
Xbox
that
is selling well, man.
they don't think that they have appeal outside of their
And,
region.
and plus, realist, these games don't cost a lot of money to make. You just said it.
How long? I just said that. How long? How long
And
has this
no,
been
but
going?
hold on, Legal. So for a game
Damn.
like, oh, okay, go ahead, Legal. It's your
Damn. Look, this type of stuff's been going on in the gaming industry for years. So it's not like there's something going on to where these guys are running out of money. These studios are not shutting down. So I mean, I'm using my logic. There's some money being thrown under the table because they need these developers to keep going. There's an audience out there that may not be as big as we think, but it's big enough for their content. And we can draw all kind of conclusions as to why these games are not expanding. And that's just up to the gamers, really. That's just up to the pocketbook. That's not really up to the devs. They make a game, and gamers like it's gonna blow up. But everybody just isn't into JRPGs. JRPGs isn't something that the mainstream gaming audience has ever gravitated to like that. That's why you don't see a whole bunch of them in the first damn place. They don't make commercial success, but it's not like those games don't deserve to exist. Just because you don't like them, don't mean somebody else don't like them. It's the same thing with the fighting genre. It has its ups and downs. To me, it just depends on who makes them. That's what it is. People will gravitate to games like that depending on who makes them. If it's some damn developer team that a lot of people don't know about, they'll probably overlook it. But if it was something like Capcom or Square Enix or something, oh, let's look at it. Oh, because it's Capcom and Square Enix. Man, we know how it is, man, around here in these gaming streets. But I'm not, man, listen, I'm getting off of JRPGs, man. I'm going back to this topic of people going to have to make a decision pretty soon. Game Pass has already opened up the gate for us. We're not confused about Game Pass. Not one person on this panel is confused about Game Pass. I just got 9 more months of Game Pass Ultimate from Realist. He treats me like a stepchild, but he loves me. He don't want me to go nowhere.
I thought, hey, bro, for a minute I thought you were gonna buy a PlayStation and do a show at MBG, bro.
Look,
but I think you got through the MBG before he got through to you, though.
Facts. I won. I won, bro. I told everybody I was gonna win. Did I not predict it before this era even started? These dudes, all these dudes are, man, is like you used to say, Realist. They just ride the wave, bro. They're just wave riders. They're not here really for the honesty of the culture. Look, we're Xbox fans, so we'll stand tall for Xbox, right? And when Xbox is doing something that we think is kind of, listen, we're not the voices. We don't interview none of them.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to get interviewed by people who are going to say exactly what they want to be said. That's why I said, listen, I'm not knocking. I know the noise is, hey man, did you see Danny and Paris interview with Phil Spencer? And I'm thinking, well, damn, who else interviews him? What, Destin? Well, I mean, but who else interviews him? And, you know, I'm not gonna take their interview that serious because I know that the real answers are not gonna be met. Phil said nothing again that he ain't never said before.
Hey, hold on. Before you say something, the man, listen, I'm done with this crap, right? I'm not sitting down and seeing this anymore. The bald-headed dude from Microsoft, the CEO, he said it a couple of times. Phil been said this for years. Matt Booty said this for years. Sarah Bond said it for years, right? They had a whole entire campaign about this is Xbox. Now, I have a PC legal. Sony does it the same thing what Microsoft is doing. If you have a Steam Deck, that's the PlayStation. Why? Because you can play PlayStation games on your PC. Now
games. And they make you get a PlayStation account.
Right now, stop there.
Exactly.
Right?
I got 3 trophies in Concord. How that's possible?
Right, games. Look at this. The difference is, here's how they look at it. They close their eyes panel, they open up their mouth, and they get on their knees and they say, the reason why we don't believe it is because there's no ads for it. There's no campaign. So despite of what I see, it's not true. That's how donkeys think. The difference is like Realist says, Microsoft is always willing to come out here and take the blows for everybody else. But if you understand a strong business always shows itself. Weak businesses don't. Microsoft is a strong trillionaire. Well, you know what I'm going with that. It's a strong trillionaire. That bad boy ain't hiding behind no curtain.
So you basically saying that Microsoft do it first, they get the flat, then
this is what I'm saying.
Later on down the road, Sony does it, and it's cool again because it's normal. That's basically what it is.
Bro, what were y'all in 2013?
Right. What I'm saying is
remember the whole DRM issue? Now we're doing it.
Exactly. What I'm saying is this. Watch this, Realist. One is actually telling you what they're actually succeeding in, while the other one isn't. This isn't something that's waiting on. Microsoft ain't coming out saying this stuff because it isn't working.
It is working.
Right. It's been working. The thing is, now it's time. Microsoft put that ad out there because now it's time for y'all to accept it. Look at that, Realist. It's not about your feelings, bro. Right? It's not about if you whether you want this to happen or not. Did you not listen to Phil Spencer? He says, I'm running a business, and Microsoft looks at me to run a successful business. So we let the PlayStation fans for over 15 years, right, throw their reasons as to why they buy a PlayStation. Their reasons was because of exclusives.
No,
funny. Look, hear me out. Let's stop being funny, right? We're going back to this 100% show. It wasn't me, Realist, Metroplex, Spark 117, or Game Heroes. It wasn't Drawn, TJ, Red Dead Panda, or Lad, Judah Gaming. It wasn't any of us. Dolanite. We didn't say the reason why we buy Xbox is just solely for the exclusives. Because damn it, we could have said the same thing. Halo is unmatched. Gears of War is unmatched. Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsports as a whole is unmatched. We have our staples. They're unmatched. But those are not the reasons why we play Xbox. We don't even talk like that. We talk about our community. We talk about our co-op experiences. We talk about being our get-togethers, the way the controller feels. We love the accessibility. We love the features. We talk real reasons as to why we have an Xbox. But they only use exclusives. They were using that for many years. Here's the problem. When you hold exclusives as your only reason of why you playing at PlayStation, then you have no room to fail that. The problem is when they just stop buying them. When these things stop having engagement, when Sony had to come out and start saying, listen, remember when Microsoft used to say, hey, we mark our success through engagement. Everybody made fun of Xbox. Everybody made fun of feeling them. Oh, look, they're weak. Because see, they don't want to talk about their game sales. They want to talk about engagement. That only tells you just how dumb the PlayStation community is. That really, when they were doing that, that wasn't showing how bright they are as gamers. They don't realize that a lot of the stuff they were saying, it just exposed how stupid they are. Because then Sony had to come out a few years later and admit that that's the damn reason, that's what they're aiming for too. That these exclusives are not giving them the engagement, meaning the long-term investment. And they kept saying it to the point where Donkeys just had to shut up about it. Then these game sales started not living up. And now we're at the point now to where they done had 2 years of flop. And remember games, because before you showed up, I already told them about, we made this prediction years ago, before Realist made the prediction that Xbox ain't gonna start kicking in to like 2023. We all just need to give it patience. We were saying this long time ago. Games used to tell me all the time, right? Now that you're here. Legal, what are they gonna have after God of War and Spider-Man? The answer was nothing. So I've already let them know that this is to protect the perception. Sony already sees PlayStation ain't gonna make it. PlayStation 5 is not gonna make it, people. That's it. They done shut down everything and bagging stuff up, getting prepared to fool you with PlayStation 6. Okay? They gave you the dud in PlayStation 5 Pro. Most of the people up here don't even have a PlayStation 5 Pro. Even these so-called PlayStation fans up on here did not invest in the PlayStation 5 Pro, just like they didn't invest in the PlayStation VR 2 or the Portal. The Portal is a weak-ass handheld. Weak. What's the purpose of you having a handheld at your house when you just might as well play your console? It's garbage. It's weak. It's weak. That ain't even a real handheld. That's the weakest kind of handheld there is. You're not going to sell the numbers to people. But I'm glad that Sony got back into it, right? They got back into it. It's okay. It's okay if it's weak. It's not the best tier. All right, whatever. I have a Logitech G Cloud, so I understand. But you're not fooling anybody. And I think PlayStation pockets, the PlayStation fan pockets are short. They're not into it because they're playing these Fortnite games. You see it every single time. See, games like that are what hurting PlayStation. They're not really hurting Xbox. You know why? Because Xbox has a couple of them in there that everybody's playing, like Call of Duty and Minecraft. They got some in there. So, hey, just like it ain't hurting Nintendo. They got theirs. They got theirs two or three up in there.
It don't hurt Nintendo because Nintendo don't have any, and so
well,
now they have
Animal. What is it? Animal
Crossing. They got no. But see, those are more community games. Those aren't service games. They got Splatoon as well. But what I'm saying is,
right?
It's gonna be this generation for Nintendo is gonna be way more interesting than last generation.
Yes,
because Game Heroes can tell you he's a Nintendo fan. Every generation since the Super Nintendo. They'll have a down generation or up generation. Down generation, up generation. And when they have that down generation, third party leaves them behind. Right? And then when they have the up generation, third party start getting involved in the middle of the generation, which is what happened with the Switch. They left them during the Wii U. So now, because you remember the Wii U had a lot of support day one because everybody jumped on the Wii in the middle of the generation. So now everybody is ready for the Switch, right? So now you're gonna have more than just Apex and Fortnite on there. You're gonna get your Genshin Impacts. You're gonna get all these other games, and
Right.
we're gonna see just how I
Hey,
guess
they're gonna get notoriety.
just how viable it is as a third party platform, because that's really Nintendo is a first party platform.
That's right.
A lot they people don't go there for third party, and that's
That's
why I
right.
think that the same thing that's happened in the past is going to happen again. I
That's
kind of
right.
hate that Microsoft signed up for 10 years, because that means that even though people aren't really going to be going there to play Call of Duty, Microsoft still has to make Call of Duties for the Nintendo platform. You know what I mean? Whereas everybody else could just pull back. But these service games have changed the game a lot. That's why, look, I asked y'all this question. Every Xbox channel I've ever been on don't understand why I'm asking the question. Do you really think that Microsoft is looking at Tencent, or are they looking at Sony or Nintendo? They're looking at Tencent. They're looking at Epic. They're looking at these games that have the live service games that are dominating the chart year in, year out, that only get knocked off for the first week of a big announcement or a big launch. The next week, they're back in the top. You see what I'm saying? So they're looking, and what metric can Fortnite, Apex Legends, or any of these other third-party games use that don't have a platform? It's users. It's user spend. This is why Microsoft went that way. This is why PlayStation had to go ahead and say it's not about the console sales, because guess what? We selling all these consoles, and all they doing is playing Fortnite, Madden, Apex Legends, or whatever else people are playing. It ain't us. So we got to find ways to monetize these people. That's why they tried to get Epic to pay them for crossplay. They're trying to find any way they can to make more money from their platform. But the only thing that they can do is depend on third-party live service games, because they can't get their own off the ground.
They can't get their own off the ground. That's it. That's it.
Hey, but before everything is right, man. I say this like a couple times, man. Like I said again, these consoles are mistake. Listen, man, these consoles should not came out 2020. They should have delayed these consoles, wait for the pandemic over around 2022, 2023, because many factors, like the Unreal Engine 5 wasn't ready that time, and we finally got the Unreal Engine 5 in 2020, and a lot of developers doesn't know how the hell use the engine, like, and that's why some of these games are stuttering and low frame rate, and they got multiple patches and all that stuff. Then you have chip shortage in COVID. It's hard to find a PlayStation 5. It was hard to find an Xbox. I got my Xbox Series X when Forza Horizon 5 came. I got the last one in Best Buy. I had to take the E train and F train and G train, all the trains in New York City to get that baby, man. Like, it was one left. Legal was only one left, and I got it. So, and it just that it was hard, right? And then that's why these consoles are behind. And these consoles, and
to give credit, gang, for these consoles that sold what they've sold.
Yeah, listen. You can sit down. Right. Say Xbox sales collapse. You only sold 32 million. Estimate whatever, right? It's still $500. The console is still $500, like, and $300.
Game Heroes, you've been on this show. You've been on the show for a minute, bro. At the beginning of the generation, I told y'all there wasn't gonna be no more discounts. I told y'all Nintendo showed PlayStation and Microsoft the way. The market will support your platform, and you don't have to discount it. The Switch has made a Switch 2 announcement, and it's still $350 for an OLED, $300 and $200 for the micro Switch, whatever they call it, Switch Lite. We're not gonna get these. We're not gonna get these discounts because they don't need to keep taking losses on this hardware, man. Gaming is, even cell phones don't do subsidy anymore. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's not happening anymore. And another thing, when you say that they shouldn't have come out in 2020, bro, technology wasn't waiting for this. Like, Nvidia wasn't waiting, AMD wasn't waiting. These new software techniques weren't waiting. Right? This is why you got a PlayStation 5 Pro. at least Microsoft was forward thinking enough to where they had that was ready to use. This is why you get coming soon. And now PlayStation supposedly is trying to meet Microsoft because they don't want to let Microsoft come to the market first.
So,
It had to come because
so
technology wasn't going to wait for them to wait for COVID to end. Well,
so the question is, why buy PlayStation? So the question is, why buy PlayStation 5 Pro?
oh, ain't nobody buying it. I think.
Good one, Metroplex. Exactly. To
Okay.
me, well, here's another funny thing, Metroplex. We found out that they were working on the PlayStation 5 Pro before they even doing the PlayStation 5. The whole point was to get what the PlayStation 5 Pro is exactly what the PlayStation 5 was supposed to be. That's why this whole thing has been a gimmick. It's been a sham. It's been messed up, man. This whole thing ain't working right for them. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So we're back down to the PlayStation fans are back down to what really matters to them the most. I've been saying this from day one. What really matters to them the most is not how many games they sell. It's about how many consoles they sell. They could care less about anything else. When their consoles don't outsell something, that's when they go into hibernation. That's when they get into these great nervous breakdowns and depressions and stuff. Because in their minds, being second place is just the ultimate feeling in the world. It's just like, look, the measuring of success is different from each console. Nobody is saying that Nintendo sucks because they're always first and they make their games cheaper. No, Nintendo's successful. PlayStation is in second place because PlayStation is successful with the way they run their console, and Xbox is in third place, and it's successful by the way they run their services. Everybody wants to use the same metric for success for PlayStation because that's what the media guards. Go ahead.
Legal.
Who's about to say something?
Legal. Is Xbox really third place though?
We know this, but realists, as much as we say it, what I keep saying, they'll close their eyes, they'll get on their knees and open up their mouths.
Open their mouth and get ready to catch that load. But check it
There
out.
you go.
But since we know better, better, we got to do better, right?
Right.
We know that the metric is not console sales. The metric is money. The metrics is how many people you have actually engaging with your software and giving you money, right?
But who was the first person?
But it does. I don't know.
No. Hold on. I'm gonna get you. Here's a trick question. Who was the first person to say on Di-RRec Gaming that Xbox is king of content and services? Who said that first?
You.
When nobody else was saying it.
You.
Who made us all believe that?
Yeah, read an article about them being, but
Bullshit.
see, they probably
you did.
I did.
You did.
You read an article on it and you did a whole show about it though.
That was this shit. That was
realist. You forgotten about yourself, man.
We're really
no, I don't look. I know that at some point me and Legal we talk almost every day, dude.
Really?
But this has been a fact. But this has been a fact.
Right.
Like since live was conceived, right? When it came to PlayStation was trying to give it away for free. Xboxes I think it's first is Apple, then is Microsoft as far as services are concerned, then Amazon, right? It wasn't new, but dude, you did a show. I wasn't on that show, but you did a whole show about them being king of content and services.
That was in honor of you. You just didn't know it.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Because I looked it up, really, and when I saw it,
okay, yeah.
Damn. Really, because I was just, I don't know, I was thinking, and I looked it up. I just looked it up, and I was amazed that's what got me was, how is this not news? How is this not news?
Because it's not popular.
Right.
It's not.
There it is.
See, look, when it comes down to news, we look at the wrong places. Your Bloombergs, right? Not your console warrior Bloomberg section. Your money section.
Well, right.
Your money section, because then they're gonna tell you how they make that money, and then you're gonna see. Look, PlayStation is a storefront. That's what they are. The hardware is sold at a loss. Remember, we all Xbox fans. We should have watched Power On, at least some part of it. Bill Gates never wanted to get involved in the hardware side, and he felt like they wouldn't be able to find partners to get involved with the hardware side because that's a fool's errand, right? Now they're just going back to square one, right? They're like, if you want this hardware in this next Xbox, I don't think it's gonna be heavily subsidized either, because nothing else. Look, Apple is showing Microsoft, if people really want the product, you don't have to do this, because you remember the Surface. Now, it never outsold Apple, but it was starting to be more competitive with Apple until they cut back a little bit. But they weren't subsidizing it. Those bitches was $3,000, just like the little MacBooks. You know what I mean? Microsoft knows that. Look, a lot of people try to credit Satya with Phil Spencer coming to him with Game Pass. We know how residual revenue works. We know all this. This is why Apple is Apple. This is why Google is Google. It's the services.
And Android is Android. Right.
Well, I don't know. Like,
Android is successful for what it does. Let's just be real.
Well, that's the storefront. But I'm just talking about their services, because they have a music service like Apple. They have a movie service like Apple.
They do.
They're not creating content like Apple is. So I give credit to Apple, because Google seems like a leech company. Like, what are they doing? Like, they're not creating much. They couldn't even keep Stadia afloat. At least Apple is making movies for their TV. So anyway,
they create.
Then you look at Microsoft. Microsoft was trying earlier, right? Now they're like, you know what? We don't have to do this stuff. We can partner, and everybody can make money. This is why you get their series coming on Amazon. This is why you got. This is why you got.
15 minutes.
Man, get your ass off this phone.
Oh, that's Metropolitan. Canada going on stuff.
That's what I said. Get your ass off this thing and go get your supper, man.
What's that? Oh, you heard that? Ah, fuck. Ah, shit.
What's up, G?
But we've always noticed that PlayStation was fraudulent. Well, he just left.
He about to.
Okay, we always knew the PlayStation was fraudulent when it came to the services, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know that Nintendo is super fraudulent. I don't know. You know, I guess people want to play Animal Crossing. But man, what Nintendo's got is what everybody else wants. Like, you're gonna pay for online so you can play Animal Crossing and Splatoon. That's crazy. So you can get little Mario markers when you play Mario Wonder. Like, they're not really providing like high-end experiences, but it's experiences that are selling no matter how you look at them. But with all that being said, their service is trash.
Yeah. No, look at Donut made a good point. It's at the end of the day, this is it. You put the fanboy, you put the false dunk in there, this aside, right? All that super hype stuff, you put it to the side and get the reality, right? Xbox is the second biggest gaming distributor in the world behind Tencent. Now, I want them to understand that, because this is where they trying to make Xbox look like it's a weakling, like it's some kind of. It's funny how the gaming media it shows it's hurt. Like, they don't get to me. It just shows a bunch of hurt. When you have so much to sell, it just makes sense to try to sell it. It's just that it ain't no weakness to this at all. You can't expect Microsoft to play little bank games like Sony. Realist, you want to elaborate on that? I mean, you brought that up to me on the phone one day if you want to elaborate on that. But they think that Microsoft is supposed to play this little bank stuff. They really think that. You want to elaborate on that? Feel free.
I mean, I'll elaborate a little bit, because you and I, we speak about it a lot. But like, Microsoft is 30 times the size of PlayStation or Sony. And we as gamers, right? Look, I got respect, because I had to learn this the hard way on Di-RRec gaming, man. We love our console. We love the box.
Right.
And anything that could be viewed as disparaging towards the box is frowned upon. So I ain't gonna talk too much about the box, but when it comes to Microsoft and God damn it. Anyway, when it comes to Microsoft trying to play the same game that PlayStation is playing, this is why I say PlayStation doesn't have much going on, right? What made PlayStation look good last year is that Microsoft wasn't doing anything the second half of the generation, right? They had State of Decay that wasn't done. They had Sea of Thieves that was just starting to get its bird wings, and then PlayStation came out with these new finished games that took them a whole generation to finish. So then Xbox don't have any games. Last of Us, right? But when Microsoft brought in Bethesda, they brought in Ninja Theory, they brought in Undead Labs. You guys know the names of the studios. They had to start looking at their positioning in gaming, right? But when you buy Activision, you get access to Activision's financials. You look at just how much that was bleeding Sony for. And then you say, man, we need to put this thing on Steam, right? And you look at what can we do with some of our other games on other platforms. They can't play the game the same way the PlayStation can, right? Nintendo eventually is going to have to play the game the way Microsoft's playing the game because they're all beholden to the same rule, and that's growth. The first step, what I tell you, Legal, I told you this. The first step they're going to do is make some hardware that's strong enough to run these third-party games so they can get some of this third-party money.
Speak on it.
Hopefully, because in the past it hasn't really worked out for them, right? But when it comes to PlayStation, their exclusivity,
That's right.
we want PlayStation to give games, as some of the people in the Xbox community, we want them to give Xbox some games. But what do they have? They only really have 5 or 6 games, right? And here you got Xbox dropping 6 games this year. So Microsoft has more than enough. Even with Microsoft giving PlayStation some of their games, they still have more console exclusives in 2025 than PlayStation will drop on their console. Because if it's supposed to be Fable, you got Avowed. You have what's the other game? South of Midnight. That's 3 that we know about. PlayStation has Ghost of Yotei and maybe Fair Games, right? And if they drop Marathon this year, we'll be playing that too, right? But Xbox still has more exclusives. They can't play the game the way that Sony's playing the game. They got to get some of these games cost too much money for one, and PlayStation's going to have to start putting some of their games on other platforms as well. We've already seen them with Horizon. How is PlayStation going to grow? They're going to follow where Microsoft goes. Microsoft is bigger than Sony. They can't follow Sony. So Sony's going to be the one that follows Microsoft wherever there hasn't been a move that Microsoft has made that PlayStation hasn't done within 3 years.
Right.
PC, PlayStation is there. A service, PlayStation Plus revision.
Come on.
Putting games on PlayStation. PlayStation will be right behind. They're not going to sit back and let
trail is there, people.
They're not going to sit back and let Microsoft whoop them. Right? Look, who you think going to have more flops if Xbox is willing to put their games on other platforms?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? PlayStation has to have their games hit. And if they can't get them to hit the first time, they're going to come back and hit them upside the head with a remaster.
Right. There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So they can't play the game because I keep saying 30 times because that needs to resonate with people. People really need to understand the differences in these companies and the way that Microsoft's going to operate compared to the way that Sony's going to operate. They are 30 times smaller than Microsoft. Microsoft has said several times that they are not our competition. Our competition is Google and Amazon, and they already got rid of Google.
Yep. Go ahead, Metropolitan. What are you gonna say?
Guys, yes, I gotta go, but
we know you gotta go eat.
I have to say one final thing. Okay, all right. But before I go, I have to say one thing real quick, okay? Concord is proof that 99.9% of PlayStation owners don't buy and support exclusives. Final Fantasy 16 is proof that 99.9% of Sony fanboys and PlayStation 5 owners don't buy and support Square Enix games. Astrobot is proof that 99.9% of PlayStation 5 owners don't buy and play PlayStation exclusives. Helldivers 2 is proof that 99.9% of PlayStation gamers don't buy and support first-party multiplayer games because they we're all too busy playing Call of Duty. Sony will continue porting PlayStation exclusives to PC, Nintendo, and dare I say it, Xbox one day, because 99.9% of Sony fanboys are PlayStation gamers. We're too busy begging for Xbox games. So, when the PlayStation console is reduced to a third-party game app on a Samsung TV or on a PC, Sony fanboys will have no one but to they will have no one but to blame themselves.
That's it. They can't
And they
blame
will ask
nobody
the
else.
question, where were you when that happens? You know?
That's right.
Anyways. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it, Metro.
That's all I have to say.
They're the ones that are going to be accountable for this. Nobody else. Don't look at nobody else. This is a PlayStation fans problem.
Exactly.
That's right. I've been saying it. Don't look at me. Don't look at.
Anyways, I gotta go.
Go ahead, brother. We appreciate you. Well, listen, we can say we
all
don't
right,
like.
So have a good night,
All right,
fellas.
Metro.
Hey, you have a good one, man. Appreciate you, man.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Later,
Take care,
brother.
Metro.
We can say all day, realist, we don't like PlayStation. It doesn't matter what we don't like. We're not putting our money into it. It doesn't matter. What matters is the ones that have put their money into it and not doing anything for it. That's what matters. We've made our minds up. We know what we like. We know what we want Xbox to be. I think Nene said it earlier today, that what Xbox needs to become. And it's true. You can feel it. You had Jason, what's his name? Ronald. He's already told everybody, he gave a hint to everybody that this Xbox needs to be exactly what it's been aiming to be for over 20 years. The time is now. There's no reason why Xbox cannot be at its full potential. You talk about a lot of things shifting. There's a lot of storefronts that'll be coming over. Like I said, we already got see, there's things that you do on Xbox you can't even do on PlayStation 5. We got GeForce now. We got Ubisoft Premium. It's hard for PlayStation fans. I get it. They're so invested in it's fun beating up on Xbox fans. I get it. It is. The fun of it. Beat us up.
That's because there's fewer of us. They just
right. Beat us up. It's fun. But where you can't ever beat us up at is the longevity. You really don't have a true longevity with your games. Your games end while our games continue. And eventually, like I kept saying, those wheels are going to come off. And when they come off, now there's going to have to be some honesty, realists. There's going to be some honesty. And I was just waiting on when. It's sad, right? Because we saw it, but the media is going to wait till the last minute to tell the donkeys, look, y'all, sorry, man. It's just not, it doesn't look good for y'all. Man, we've been telling y'all that. We've been telling y'all that. We've been told y'all that this was going to happen because it's a repeat. No company is going to stay on top forever. You should be embracing yourselves for that. You should know that. But the problem is you guys aren't taking care of your games. So to jab at Xbox fans, because Microsoft is making a strategy because the industry looks at Xbox last. We see it all the time. Games get made for PlayStation, and games was giving you all the excuses in the world, right? But like Willa said, these are just excuses. It doesn't make sense that a developer would not want their game that over here is not a big deal to. How would you ever know it will remain a no big deal if you don't put it over there? It's something else, realist, that's going on that we don't know, that they don't want to tell us. It's got to be because these damn studios don't shut down. And you scratch your head like, damn, I get it that the games ain't that costly, but man, I mean, you would think, because you hear it from people in this, these devs just want more gamers to play their games. Well, we hear all of that kind of stuff. But I do have to give props to Phil Spencer for keeping it real when he says, we would like to put our games on as many platforms as we can, but we know that's just not realistic. So this notion that Xbox is going to be able to put their games everywhere, he's knocked that out the park already. He's letting you know that's not the case. any real business would love to just put their products everywhere, right? Realists. If okay, let's put it like this. Let's talk business 101 for a minute. Common sense, kindergarten business 101. Realists, you don't you grow your hair like Jamaicans, right? And you got this product for dreads, and it's really healthy for hair. It's just people who want to grow their hair long in the black community, right? And you got this new herbal solution that's just as good as a good conditioner. It helps to grow the hair real good, goes all the way down to your roots, and really good stuff for your hair, right? Why the hell would you come out here with that product and just put it in Target?
Well, I can tell you why, but I understand what you're getting at. Because I mean, there are Target has their own black small business section where it's something that they sponsor. It's hard to get in storefronts for one, but because for a while, man,
damn, you had to
us.
go with the realistic. Let's go in
Look,
fantasy.
like I said, I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah, you went really. You want
to sell your product to as broad an audience as possible.
As you want. What I mean is, realist, you're not gonna be mad that you see your stuff in Walmart. That's what I'm basically saying. You're right.
No.
Unfortunately, you're right,
bro. I get what you're going. Look, let me.
Right.
I'm telling you, bro. Look, so that's my whole thing, bro. It's like a lot of these big franchises have been building for years, right? And you don't know what your fan base will be until you start it.
Right.
Like you had to start somewhere, so you started in Japan as a Japanese studio. Why not try to take America by storm? America's definitely trying to take Japan by storm. China's trying to take the world by storm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I think they're doing a good job of it as far as gaming. But I don't understand it, and then Phil Spencer can't understand it. What? Let me see, man. I ain't never seen D-Batch hair.
Oh, what's the no? But look, shout out to support for Rangy for the super chat. Think about it, and this is true. Man, this is beautiful right here. Beautiful comment. Think about it. Microsoft coming into the industry saved it. They were the ones with resources to take the risk. Broadband, hard drive, and consoles, exactly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I'm saying. It's like we all know that we know what's going on. We know why Xbox is like it is, but change is coming. Game Pass has opened up a lot of people's mindsets on this is just games, people. It's not that serious. Look, if you can get a deal where you can play all these games, and see, it's that first party games. It's those day ones that just make Game Pass so attractive. People like Others Inc. I'm glad he popped up because I mentioned them earlier. Do you think a person like Mr. Kima and Others Inc. give a damn about owning a video game in their life? People like Stone King, Spider King, rather. Spider King's another one. Or Spidey Ring. The man changes his name.
Whatever his name
right. Spider Ring, he's Spider Ring today. Tomorrow he'll be Spidey Sling. You just got to know that it's him. But guys like those guys, they don't give a damn about owning video games in their life. So this is video games. They want to play video games. And I'm thinking that because Game Pass has been out since 2017, 2018, and been running so long now, Game Pass is starting to speak for itself. Now people are like, bro, I'm looking over here and I'm like, damn, if it's that comparison thing again, Relis, if we're going to play in the same game, why the hell would I be paying for it? Especially when I know I ain't going to own it. Especially when I know I don't own it. I'm basically paying for a license.
Basically, that's what you're paying for.
That's what you're paying for. So now, right. This is why you got these PlayStation fans with these YouTubers starting to, you know, it's sad because I told y'all that the PlayStation community is a bunch of feelings. The minute you say something about Xbox, they persecute you. You're a traitor. Dude, this isn't, look, let me tell you something, man. This isn't a cult. This is just gamers and their preferred platform. This is the pure essence of the competition. But mark my words, this isn't a cult. I mean, legal has a Switch. I have a ROG Ally. I mean, I have GeForce Now. I actually have a Steam account where I bought one game on it. But good night. If you think that this is a cult, man, you got it mistaken. I just like my Xbox platform. And I know that people give Xbox a bad name when in actuality, it's probably the best gaming platform out here. But if you wouldn't know that if you wouldn't have one. You just wouldn't know that if you don't have one. That's all it is. So if it's going to come down, and this is why I know this is the end, and I'm saying it before it, realists, we're going to say this, chat pack, I want y'all to be my witnesses. We're going to do this again. Let's do this again. This is for the fun of it. The end game is next generation, people, where it's almost, I hate to say it, but you're going to be damn near stupid to not buy an Xbox next generation. You're going to damn near look stupid for not buying one. Because everything that Microsoft has had to endure is going to be for that Xbox. Every little thing. I hope, this is what I hope for. I've been saying this for a long time. There's certain things that Microsoft, I don't know if they knew that was so great. I just don't think they knew it. I don't know. I might be wrong. But that Xbox One cloud compute feature was out. I've never in my life witnessed anything that great in gaming in my life. I mean, you remember that being a part of the Upload Studio community when you did something and you can record it and you can send it over there and they voted on the community. Look, realists, you can't even make this up. The gaming community voted on your gameplay and put it in the top 10 gameplay. And if you did the most outstanding thing, you won for that week. Bro, that's what gaming is about, bro. I used to love that. I love the snap feature for achievements. I don't like this cheap pip thing that Mikey Bauer gave us. That's cheap shit. Listen, I don't like the fact that we lost our chat for Twitch. I know there's business things that go on, but there was a time when Xbox was so solid on features, it was ridiculous. I mean, we had voice animation, voice recognition. I mean, it was crazy. It was a crazy time. It was, and I'm taking the TV out of it. I'm just talking about the part of gaming. I never saw that before. That was the technology of cloud compute is remarkable, man. If any of those little things come back, like we don't have to have the snap feature for television, movies, and all that, but it would be nice to have it for the menus. You know how we got the little menus right now. You go up on the top and you scroll over. But let's bring the blades back, because we still got the blades. It ain't like the blades are gone. When you shift over on your Xbox, you push the right button on your D control pad. Blades move. Go to your settings, go to your live stream, go to, you know what I'm saying? Go to home, those are blades. Bring those back, but give us our chat. Give us our chat back. Give us our snap feature for achievements. Let us know when we're playing a game. Let us be able to see it in real time. Progression in real time. Those types of games, and I'm telling you right now, separated Xbox from everybody else. There wasn't nothing out there like Xbox. And if I'm right, which I know I'm going to be right, so I'm making it right. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to make this right. That next Xbox that's going to come out, man, to all the haters, it's going to be a hard time for you, because if storefronts hit that bad boy in a major way, cloud compute features hit that bad boy in a major way, if we are done away with physical hard drives for memory cards, for saves, gets done away, because the cloud can do that for everybody. We just, whatever, save it right there with nothing else to do, but save it right there. Move on. We already got quick resume. You instantly move on. We even got it with our handhelds. The cloud helps us with our handhelds. Wherever you ended off with your handheld, your mobility, you go back to your console, start right where you left off at. And we're not even talking about the new features. We're just talking about features we know now that are undefeated. So imagine they make this beautiful console game, because the Series X is one heck of a beautiful console. The way it's compact, the way that thing uses the tornadic airflow for the way the fans are built inside, where it blows the air up. Let me tell y'all something about Microsoft geniuses, man. They're undefeated. There's not another gaming business on God's green earth messing with the technological geniuses of Xbox expertise creators, tech creators. They're just top of the line. You're just not gonna beat them. And this next Xbox is gonna win because it's gonna be the best thing out. People want superior product. Nobody's gonna want. You can't. You know what we used to say? You know what they used to say to us? They used to tell us the problem with Xbox. The articles used to tell us about X. You remember what they did it with the Xbox Series X? Well, you know, it's just a little bit of a difference. Yeah, y'all. So what if y'all are more powerful? It's just not that great. Who cares? Well, y'all just got a couple more frame rates. You're not gonna be saying that next year. Mark my words. Those little closeness security words that you like to throw, that's not going to exist next generation. They meant what they said when they said they're going to leap y'all. They meant that. Expect this leap. PC community, listen. Expect that leap, because just like Microsoft said, we gave the features over to PC, not the other way around. You're going to really see it next generation. Really going to see it next generation. And this Windows gaming and Xbox gaming coming together, and we're going to see it this year, is going to be remarkable. This year. We're not waiting for next year. That's going to happen this year. And so, to me, there was somebody, let me show you what's already happening right now, realist. This notion that I actually need a PlayStation. Now, see, this is the thing. I'm not mad. See, here's the thing with me. I'm not mad if a PlayStation fan pays full price for an Xbox game. That doesn't bother me. Go play. Go play for it. But when you actually have people who speak different languages coming up on Twitter X to tell you stuff like this, PlayStation continues on its third-party path and has now launched its first-party games on Boostroid. I'm going to say this again. You don't see this. Now, what this guy just posted on Twitter X, show me one article this week that has told y'all that. Show me one article this week that has told y'all what this guy just said. PlayStation continues on its third-party path. On its third-party path, I know a lot of PlayStation fans don't like to hear that, and has now launched its first-party games on Boostroid, a game streaming platform. Now, check this out. Xbox has always been right. Some are brave, and some say it. See, this guy speaks another language. I had to translate this. Even people around the world know this. Xbox has always been right. Some are brave, and some say it, and others go around doing things without saying anything, so as to not make their fans cry. And yes, you can use Boostroid from your Xbox. And his last word was bye. He ain't got to say nothing else. Bye. I'm not here to debate with y'all. This is a bye moment. So I don't need so see, when PlayStation's fans really say, oh, I don't need an Xbox, they don't say that with conviction. They say that in a place trying to score points, because they know damn well they're not getting all the Xbox games, because you're gonna have to have a storefront. And guess what, realist? Matt Booty and them already told them already that Game Pass is not gonna be on PlayStation, so they don't have a storefront. They don't have Game Pass. So
legal. Do you think that if PlayStation said, okay, we bend the knee,
mhm.
give us Game Pass? Do you think Xbox will do it? I think that Xbox wants it on PlayStation. I think they want it everywhere, right? But they know that PlayStation and Nintendo won't do it.
Yeah, because realist. Okay, put it like this. Remember the words. I like that you said that, man, because that's a real good question. That ain't nothing to be funny. We're not here to be funny today. Remember what Phil Spencer said though. We spent billions and billions to
Hmm.
do this, to get the Game Pass, to get where we're at. See, so the key to get to where they're at, realist, you done had to spend billions of dollars. Remember, he improvised about this with putting the money into what, realist? The cloud.
That's what I thought he was talking about
There you go.
with the cloud, but
Right, because
because
realist, look.
they were talking about how Nintendo and
There you
PlayStation could
go.
possibly compete, and he was like, it takes tens of billions in
Tens of billions.
years
It's
to do what we done.
tens. There you go. Now, realist, when you look at Game Pass and you turn on your Xbox, what's the fastest way to start playing your video games when you look up Game Pass? Through the cloud.
The little
It's
that,
safe.
that little cloud.
The little cloud. So what does that say, realist? Hey man, you don't have to worry about no saves. You don't even have to worry about loading it up. Just hit it and play it if you want to check it out. And realist, you can play the whole game because I did that with Spider King. I say Spider King still, but with Spotty, and we did the whole. What was it? What's that game called, man? Sam. Uh, damn, help me out. What's it called?
I don't know, but
You
I
know, it's
know I
like that
played the
land he
Goose
goes
Game
around.
in the
Sickness,
cloud.
you know, you're a PlayStation guy. What's it called, man? Sam. It's a PC game, like in a way. You run around. His name is
Oh,
Sam.
you talking about Death Stranding?
No. Um, damn it, I forgot the name of it. It's on Xbox right now. It's a new one.
What kind of game
He
is it? What
goes
does it do?
around. He just shoots up monsters. You got guns and you run around. It's Sam something. I forgot. Y'all help me out. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Serious
Serious
Sam.
Sam or something like
There
that.
you go. I played that whole thing on the cloud, and I recorded it, and we beat the whole game. Realist, I never downloaded that game because I wanted to test it. I wanted to see how smooth it ran. Realist, there was no tears. There was no freeze moments. There was nothing, man. That game, we went through that whole game. I did on a smooth transition. And in my title, I had to let them know, playing it from cloud. I played this from the cloud beta. So people would know that I'm actually playing it from there, not natively through my Xbox console. So they can see it, so they can believe in it. Because, and notice, it's running that good and it's still in beta form. This thing is being tested for the handheld that they're making. This thing is still being tested for the next Xbox that they're making. I'm telling y'all right now, Xbox is on the right path moving forward. They're a big time gaming publisher, no matter if that hurts your heart or not. Xbox community, you're going to have to accept the fact that the motto for what failed. Look, it didn't even work, right? The motto what failed for PlayStation, you have to come to grips with understanding it failed and get that out your mind. You've been donkey doctrinated into thinking that exclusives sell these consoles. You have to you're doctrinated into their lies. The exclusives ain't sell their consoles. The exclusives ain't what brought money to their company. Because why? The company told us it didn't. Okay? So you got to get out of that because that's what you see every day. That's why the donkeys are having a hard time making the transition. They're really struggling because they can't believe that they've been lied to this long. They've been lied to this long. What has to happen with PlayStation, and it's not that PlayStation is it's a whack platform. It's PlayStation. It's not PlayStation, it's Sony. It's how Sony uses PlayStation. But PlayStation is going to have a very, very, very hard time next generation if they don't have a live service game or some multiplayer games to help it out. I don't know why they don't believe that. And now you got the lames even professing it now. Now it's bad when the lames, when the liars have now started beginning to tell the truth to y'all. That's when you know it's too late. And if you guys been supporting them. Cygnus, you guilty, bro. You and Mike Johnson are guilty. They've been lying. You guys have been accepting these lies for years. And Cygnus, you know better because you're not that dumb. I hold you a little higher than that. That's true. It does. That's why it does depend on that. Depends on your internet. Yes, it does. That's why it's not the go-to. It's never going to be the go-to. It's just the expansion. It's for the expansion of gamers. That's correct. Right. The exclusives are meaningless on a casual box. That's facts. That is facts. See, you still don't get it. You still don't get it, Famo. Cygnus, you're not getting it. Let's name some of your accumulation. Uncharted, where's that at? Bloodborne, where's that at? The Order of 1886, where's that at? The Last of Us, where's that at? How many remakes has The Last of Us made? So where's that at? Where's Faction at? If it was doing such a good job, where's the multiplayer for any of these games? God of War, cancel. Horizon Forbidden, cancel. Cygnus, you gotta let it go, famo. I'm trying to help you, fam. You have time to get it right. This stuff is not making a difference, bro. The game, oh man. Oh, damn, Rain. You didn't have to do it like this, bro. I asked them where they at, really.
I had to look. I can see that. Dude, that's the argument that they use. It's the sum of all parts, right? No, it's not. If that was the case, they sell more of them.
Right.
So he's saying, Final Fantasy sold 5 million units. So 5 million, let's say 3 million of them bought a PlayStation to play it. No, it's bull crap.
Right.
That's why they own PC. Right.
That's right. That's it.
Look. See, right now they gotta play the media game, right? They gotta speak through the media to their fans, right? And baby them. Instead of just saying, hey, like Jim Ryan, see, a lot of them was like, we want Herman Hulse. Now they want Herman Hulse out. A lot of them was like, they need to just let Herman Hulse do the talking and Jim Ryan do the business. Do you remember that?
Right. I remember that. Switched on them real quick.
Because I know it could be just funny to you, but they were really saying.
They really were saying that.
Herman Hulse, let him do the talking, let Jim Ryan handle the business.
Right.
But Jim Ryan was a straight shooter.
Right.
Jim Ryan sat on somebody's chair and told them console is not enough. Right. Herman Hulse is talking, oh, we're going to put games on PC, but it's so that they check into PlayStation 5 for the sequels. No, nobody dropping their PC. They're going to wait for you to put the game on PC.
Well, how do you know that?
Until you start putting them.
Because you come from it.
Because, well, PC.
Because you come from it.
You don't agree with me, but you don't agree with me. PC is growing faster than console.
Listen, it is what it is. Things change within some years, man. It can happen. It can happen.
I mean, honestly, and we got to also think about China. You know what I mean? That is the largest population in the world, and they are a PC gaming community. If you look at their games, you see when they get behind the game, you see what could happen when you look at Black Myth Wukong. But it's not the sum of these games. This is why Square is dumping y'all. This is why Square Abyss said hell no. Even with Microsoft and a little bitty measly 30 million consoles, I never heard of any other place where 30 million is tiny except for when it comes to gaming. I even hear Xbox, so-called Xbox channels, idiots, say that Xbox is doing horrible with consoles. Just because others are doing better, that doesn't mean that they're doing horribly. Like, if you had 30 million pennies, you wouldn't go to work tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So It's not the sum of these parts, man. These people are on PlayStation to play the games that we playing on Xbox. People say PlayStation is better. Bro, I got family members that say PlayStation better than Xbox, and all they doing is playing 2K and Call of Duty. You know what I mean? My little niece, I say, man, I play it with you this year because it's in Game Pass. She said, what? I said, yeah, it's in Game Pass. She said, that's not fair, right? A lot of people don't know. They just buy a PlayStation because it is the most popular platform. That's all there is to it. But going back to what you said earlier, you said I was just gonna let you breathe and talk. But you're gonna have to be a fool to stick to PlayStation if you got an Xbox that's gonna have, if it has access to all these
Yeah,
different storefronts.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because legal, is Xbox a content company or a storefront company? What are they predicated on? Being a storefront or creating
Creating
content?
content.
What is PlayStation predicated
Storefront.
on? Being a
Storefront.
storefront? Right, right. They would like to be content forward, but they're not.
Okay.
Their bread and butter is their store. Their bread and butter is
I'm
their
glad you said
storefront.
it because
See, when now you
no,
want to cut me
go
out,
ahead
so
because I
check it
remember
out.
what I was gonna say before.
Yeah, write
I
it
got
down,
you.
mother.
I got you. I
Look,
remember that. I'm glad you kept
so
saying it. Go ahead.
because see you and I have been holding this. So when you brought up the fact that Microsoft allows Boost
Mm-hmm.
Droid, you have GeForce Now, right? They're open to having Steam, Epic. I think Epic would be down before Steam, but I think they both gonna get down. The reason why Microsoft can do that is because they're a content company first, right? The reason why PlayStation would be afraid of a move like that, because you remember, PlayStation didn't even want EA access before it became EA Play. Remember, they said that it's not enough quality content in there. But the only thing it was is they was afraid of competition. Xbox doesn't care about the storefront first. Of course they care about it, but that's not their first order of business. Their first order of business is getting that content out and collecting 100 to 70% of it, and 70% of those microtransactions on these service games. That's their number one order of business right now. This is why they're not afraid to have other storefronts, because the storefront for Xbox is we want to sell ours. It used to be that way for Steam before it became what it was. They created that platform to sell their games. Same thing for Epic, a way for them to deliver Fortnite, now Fall Guys and Rocket League. You know what I mean? So that's why you're going to have these different storefronts accessible through the Xbox platform next generation, if the rumors are to be believed. And I believe it because it makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. It's going to further cut Sony off from their money has, because if you see, they're already scared to not put that new Chinese game on PC. Why? It's a PC focused community and it's a Chinese game, and they got a big deal with this what is a Chinese hero project. I don't know if you know about that, where they went in and they funded, kind of like what Ubisoft did in Singapore, which is why they say, what is it called? Skull and Bones is so bad. So they got a few Chinese games coming. Of course, they want to keep them on their platform, but they can't keep them off PC. They can't put games on PC without putting them on Steam, because Epic offered them money to be exclusive, and they told them no. So if Xbox is not concerned about the storefront first, they're looking for ways to sell their content. And if you want other people's content, so be it. But they're in the business of selling their content first. So that's why you're gonna have these other storefronts on Xbox, man. And you brought up the whole operating system and the features that were taken away over the years. I think all that's gonna come back, because now they have competition. If you start to venture over into PC, you got new competition with the what is it called, the Steam OS. See, if PlayStation was smart, they would, but I don't think that they're dumb. I don't think that they're not smart enough. I think they don't have the manpower and resources to get what Microsoft's about to get done, to get what Steam's about to get done. Steam, this has been what, 3-year project. Then OS has been in Microsoft's back room. They call it something else now. For at least 3 years. That's when I first saw it.
You know, when you was talking,
So it's gonna the new S is gonna be something
you're
nice,
right,
man.
brother. I'm
Go ahead,
glad you
bro.
said, no, man. Look, these are things that nobody's talking about, realists. That's why I'm like, they don't even realize, man, that the next Xbox is actually gonna be a new OS, man. This is going to be a new operating system to showcase, and nobody knows what it's going to be. It's just the timing is excellent. But I wanted to tell you, when you was talking about, did I think Game Pass, what if so my question to you would be, and what are they going to do with their services? Because Game Pass is far superior. What are they going to do with their services, man? When you can't even get day ones on theirs. That's the reason. They won't. That's what
Right now they service is what Xbox Live Gold was. It ain't nothing but online. Because the games, look, if they put a first party game in there, they take it out.
it just doesn't make no
You see,
sense.
they
It's like,
they can't fully commit to a service the way Microsoft
right,
can. What Microsoft is bringing to the market is unmatched, unrivaled, whatever other word you want to come
right.
up with. You know what I mean? Because there's not much to the service. Now they do have a lot of games, and that's what PlayStation fans will say. They got so many games,
Look,
but
you
how
know,
many of these games do you really want to play?
right. When another thing, really,
Ninja Gaiden hits Xbox Game Pass, and that's all I see across my
yeah.
timeline. Not
No, it's
all,
a lot.
but
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of what
flooded.
I see.
Yeah, realist. Another thing.
You know what I mean?
No, finish
Go
up.
ahead. No, I'm just gonna say, like Xbox, when they try to compare Plus to Game Pass, the only thing you can say is it's a service. Just like it's a competing service. That's the only thing you can say. Because seriously, bro, the amount of day one content that's hitting the service, be it AAA or AA, it's day one content. I don't know when the last day one game was. Was it
Right.
Zal? From EA that hit uh, PlayStation Plus. I mean, they had Stray back in the day. They don't do day ones, and when they put first party games in there, um, they take them out.
No, look,
So
you
there's
know,
no
no, it's
comparison.
not
Go ahead, bro.
because realist. We did the show where we show where we're not the same, right? That's another thing that the media don't talk about. Seeing as they talk about PlayStation Plus, right? Nobody's knocking PlayStation Plus. I don't have it, but I'm not knocking services, right? To each their own. But when you show me that, what, 3 to 4% subscribe to the ultimate version, the top tier version of PlayStation Plus, then what are we talking about, realist? Majority, I could have a little bit lower. It might be a little bit higher, but it wasn't. I remember, I don't even think it was 10%. I'm serious. I remember when I read out the numbers. That was amazing to me. The majority of the people who subscribe to PlayStation Plus subscribe to the lowest tier, realist. The lowest tier. The one that's giving them the least. So we're not even the same. 80% of the Xbox community pays into Xbox Ultimate. 80%. 80%. What's up, CBH4 guy? What's going on? But 80%, that's almost 100%. That's 20% off. Majority of people are willing to pay for Ultimate because of just how awesome Ultimate is as a service. I mean, you don't have a reason to, Cygnus. There's no really reason to. That's where the low value of it is. That's the answer what Realist was saying to me. Do I think I don't think it would happen, because then it would just knock out the services. And these companies would totally have to be dependent on paying Microsoft to put Game Pass there, because there ain't nothing free. We're talking about business, so there's nothing free happening around here. Hey, we got respect for you, but hey, at the end of the day, man, pay up. It's business, and that's around the clock, right? But if you're building the superior product now, it's in everything you see. I look at gaming like I look at cars, right? Right now, man, the Mercedes-Benz, the BMW, and the Lexus, they're doing some great things across the line as far as affordable luxury cars. I mean, when I say affordable, I mean they're expensive. Don't get me wrong; them notes are pretty high, but for what you get for under 100, for what, under 60,000, what you're getting is some good top tier stuff that you find in the upper echelons of cars. You find a little bit of those little gadgets and gadgets in those cars. But each one is bringing some value to their game, and you can tell where they're all being competitive, especially when you open up the doors, you look on the inside. It's a lot of copycatting going on. Cadillac as well. You see a lot of especially the CRT Cadillacs. I forgot about them, some bad boys. When you look in there, you can see a lot of competition going on. And you can see it. Oh, yeah, they got that too. Yeah, they got that too. And then there's certain little things that are different. And it's the certain little things that are different that determine the sale. It's just that easy. But when you're looking for the ultimate, right? When you're looking for that ultimate piece of work, and you're looking for those bad boys right on the zinc, and you go up a little bit, you go just a level, just a little bit higher than them, right? You're looking at that Porsche. And you look, and you open up that door, you're like, damn. You're like, man, it's just a couple more hundred, 10,000s of grand, and I'm in another little space right here. All it takes is another 20 to 30,000 more grand, and you're in something that's making you say, damn, you know what I'm saying? I may not be able to afford it, but I can see a big difference. Now, other zinc. What do you think is going to happen, right? If Microsoft puts a so-called 30 more grand into this Xbox, right? And they load it up with all these features, right, other zinc? Because that's what people buy vehicles off of: features, comfortability, space, that's what they, the design, all of that matters. Trunk space, leg room, all of this stuff, right? You're looking at all of that. And Microsoft said, you know what? We used to hit it around 60,000, 50 to 40,000. But, and we can give them this. But you know what? We're self-integrated. What do we got over there that's in the 80 to 100,000 market? Listen, hey, we have any stuff over there that we can use we're not really using? Bring some of that down here. Let's bring some of that down here. Because they know that PlayStation, we already just saw it with the PlayStation Pro. They snitched on themselves. It was a gimmick. Nobody really knows everybody knows what an Xbox Series X enhanced game looks like. Everybody knows it. You have the S, you have the X, you know what you're getting. The enhanced, I remember when it was just be enhanced. They don't even say that no more. You just know your Xbox Series X speaks for itself. But the PlayStation Pro enhanced, what is that? It's because it's not over the Xbox Series X. What is it enhanced about? Because they're not even talking about it when it comes to the PlayStation 5. It's like, oh, it's enhanced. But I thought the PlayStation 5 was already supposed to be that. See, what 4K 60, that's not an enhanced mode anymore, other zinc. Range E4, CBH4 God, 4K 60 is standard. So, I mean, what is the Pro giving you that's not standard? That's my question. When they say enhanced, what are you getting? Nobody knows, because it's not for real. This next Xbox, you're gonna see some things that are just not nowhere else to be seen. They're looking for an ultimate experience. They're looking for something that is so top tier that it's a superior product. So that means when you go out on a dealership, you don't go to a local dealership looking for Bugatti. Now, I'm not saying this thing's gonna be like a Bugatti as far as the price range. I'm talking about everything of its capabilities. It's gonna be like a Bugatti. This thing's gonna be a top-notch Porsche. And you're gonna look at these other consoles. I mean, the Nintendo Switch, look, let's be honest, people. I'm just not into it, man, when I got the ROG Ally. I mean, if you ain't got a ROG Ally, then you don't understand what I'm talking about. But even the Nintendo Switch 2 doesn't even make me feel like I need to go out and buy it anymore, because somebody has leapfrogged it. And the ROG Ally now isn't even the best top tier one out now. There's one that it didn't leapfrog it, but got a little bit more power than it. That's it. So the wrong ally holds its weight. I'm good. I'm content with it. But this thing, other Zinc, I'm telling you, man, they don't believe you, bro. All this stuff that we be talking about, it always comes later. We don't wait. We know what we're talking about. We say it when it's in a time where people just can't grasp it. We're telling you. Sarah Bond is going to make sure that the next Xbox would have massage seats, panoramic cameras, and everything. Facts. You know, this thing is going to be top notch. Perforated seats. Perforated seats, famo. You know what I'm saying? And thought protection. Facts. Facts. You wild, G4. You stupid. But no, this thing, because honestly, to be honest with y'all, it's the only thing left that Xbox has, to be honest. Okay? Xbox don't have no way other around this situation. It doesn't have another option around this situation. So now there isn't no more playing nice guy. They're going to bring out their power. Their power is technology. And when it comes to technology, Microsoft is unmatched. Very few can hang with Microsoft when it comes to technology and their capabilities. And they're going to make this ultimate Xbox to where that price has to be beautiful. That's the other second key. It's going to have to be beautiful. They make the perfect price for this bad boy. You can call it a day, because there's a shift. There's a shift that's happening. Choices are to be made. You know, you can throw up your PlayStation flag. I have no problems with that. Love your PlayStation. But I'm not going to like something just because you know, I feel like I have to be a cult to it. If Microsoft makes a garbage ass Xbox, doesn't mean I'm going to buy it. You know, it just doesn't mean I'm going to buy it. I can wait with the unless they stop making games on it. I have
Stop
other
lying.
avenues.
You know you're gonna make a way to make it good.
No, really.
You know you're gonna find a way to
I
like
have
it.
other avenues. I have other avenues to play my Xbox games. I do. Realize I got my monitor right here. I can holler at you, hey man, what I need something.
Hold on. Was you just about to say you got your PlayStation?
No,
I heard you say I got to put. Why you stop
I'm
yourself?
not buying no PlayStation, bro. You already know that, famo. I don't know how you keep playing with me with that. I lost that a long time ago with Spider-Man. That's the end of that. You'll never hear me say that again. Never. You'll never hear me say that again. That's them days is over. They messed up. They had me, bro. They dropped the ball. That's it. Gave them a chance. They only had one job to do, bro, and they couldn't do it. That's it. Done. Done. But it's true. I have other options to play Xbox. I can go PC if I want. If they make a shitty Xbox, I can go PC. It's not the end of my Xbox experience, but I'm rooting for this console because I know where the console's at, just like Realist, a former PC guy. He knows that the Xbox has those features. Hey, you got those features that are unmatched. Matt Booty said it. Listen, we got you where you can play Xbox on multiple devices, PC, but it's the Xbox where we want to give our fans what? The greatest benefits. So why would I leave the spot that's going to give me the greatest benefits? I'm not. I'll lock it down, hold it down. So I hope that this next Xbox is going to be that PC/console. That's all it needs to be. It needs to hit its highest level form, bring it home, so that we're all out here just enjoying ourselves. If you want to be a part of the Windows PC community, we shouldn't be separated. Hey, I'm on my Xbox. You want to? Let's go play. Let's go play. I love the vision of what Xbox is doing. Keep doing it. Keep putting it out there, because all you're doing is you're making people question now. Questioning the common sense. It doesn't make any sense. We're playing the same game, right? You paying full price for it, I'm not. That doesn't even make any sense anymore. Why don't you just come on over here? You want to play that game, right? So just come on over here. And we know that's exactly what's going to happen. Hey, I just want to come out here and say thanks to everybody that keeps supporting this channel. Realist, you got anything else you want to say, man? Realist will probably stopped over there somewhere to eat a hot dog. But listen, I just want to say this, man. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all.
Can you
I
hear
can
me,
hear you
Legal?
now. What's up?
Okay. Nah, man, my phone went, man, this new app you using, man. It's like if my phone screen turns off because it times out,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it. But anyway, don't forget, man. These publishers want to raise the price on games.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And Game Pass is going to pay even bigger factor. I don't know if
No,
I
I
can
can
hear
hear you. Keep going.
that loud ass machine. But anyway, so look, that's going to play a big part in where people consume their media too, right? Because there's only one Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
only one Madden, College Football 2K, right? So when you get all these games trying to charge 80,
Mm-hmm.
think about it, if Ninja Gaiden, however you say it, Black 2. If that's $50, that's now a $60 or $70 game. If everybody else raises their price, because you got to look at what happened with the whole $70 price increase, right? With the $70 increase, a lot of AA games were charging $60 when they would have normally charged 50. You know what I'm saying? They're charging 60. They would have normally charged $39.99 or $50 for their games. Because one of them is what's that game with the vampires? Evil West.
Okay.
Evil West is a AA game like mug, bro. But I like vampires, so I bought it. I bit. But a lot of that is gonna play a big factor in where people choose to consume their media, man. And Game Pass is gonna be right there waiting for them. This is a long game. A lot of people listen to what media is talking about right now. They're just writing articles right now, but a lot of it isn't forward thinking, and they can't see past console, PlayStation winning. They can't see past that. They haven't even started to look forward to services with
Right.
cloud, and people actually choosing cloud as their primary way to
Right.
game. It's a little ways off, but over time, you're gonna see more and more people choose that, because if this hardware continues to go up in price and everything else starts to go up in price, it's gonna price
Right.
people out.
Yeah, man. End this out, realist. Or just go get that hot dog. I got you. Listen, man. Like I said, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, man. Shout out to Metroplex out of Canada. I know he was having a rough time with his PC. It happens. It happens. People get in here and
Bro, did I get cut
yeah.
out again?
You go in the show, man. In the show, brothers.
Nah, hey, shout out to everybody in the chat that hung out with us for a whole 3 hours, man, and the panel members that were here and left us behind, man. Some of them had to go eat. I think Game Heroes had to catch a train. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody who hung in there with us, man, and listen, and we're engaged in the chat. I hate that I couldn't read the chat, but seemed like it was pretty interesting, man, because I heard you were engaging with them a little bit.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you too, bro. Anytime you're on that road, man, we know, and it gives you something to do. I know you be safe out there, man, as always,
Man,
And I just want to say personally, man, look, thanks for all the support out there, man. Please don't feel free. Don't feel scared to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, man, and never miss a beat on the ones and twos over here on Di-RRec Gaming, man. Smash that like button, shatter your keyboard, do what you got to do, and please share this content, man. Also, shout outs to everyone in the chat pack that comes out and wolves up, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Check this out. It's always about gaming. It ain't about nothing else, man. Look, we have our fun, we joke, we throw our jabs, but at the end of the day, it's never personal, man, because it's just gaming. Keep it gaming, man.
Hey, Legal,
go ahead, brother.
Legal, one more thing. I just wanted to say the Cygnus, because he said PlayStation don't want subscription to look more attractive than buying. That's because PlayStation not trying to offer their customers
Facts.
value. Can they afford to give value? That ain't my problem. They need to figure out a
Facts.
way to deliver me value. That's their job as a company.
Yup.
Subscriptions are gonna always look more
Attractive. Yup.
appealing than paying
Yup.
$70 a
Facts.
pop. But PlayStation has proven time and time again that they're not trying to give their
It's
customers
true.
value. But
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
man.
And always
Shout out
keep
to
it
y'all
gaming,
again, and
man.
I'm out.
Always keep it gaming. Don't let nobody take the one up from you, man. Don't tuck your chain for nobody, man. Let that one up chain hang, baby. Because everybody deserves a second chance. Yo, I go by the name of the new legal. This is the realest one. Yo, shouts to Fart 117. Shouts to Metropolitan. Shouts to Gameja. Shouts to Chat Pack. Shouts to everybody across the world that tunes in. Shouts to those who secretly watch the show. Shouts to those who sneak stealth watch the show. Shout outs to everybody who watches the show after we're done. Yo, this is Di-RRec Gaming, and we're out of here. Till next